You know that. SCSA password.
That's great.
The Wi-Fi.
So sometimes those guys can tell us. Ryan Walters. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll just use my phone. All lowercase. Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Hello. I think we are ready to begin. Anyone didn't bring a chair? I believe there's a few stacked up back there if you just want somewhere to, if you want to grab a chair to sit. Should I stand?
Yes.
Okay, I'll stand. All right, first of all, we want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's really a pretty incredible crowd, so we can't wait to get to all of your questions and really just talk about the exciting times ahead at SCSA. We want to thank Bargersville Police Department for allowing 2 of their officers to be here, really just to help ensure that tonight is positive, productive, civil evening. A few housekeeping items to get the night started. The meeting will conclude at 9 p.m. That is when Bargersville Police Department has to leave, so we will be, everyone will have to leave the facility at 9. We do have a podium, well, it's not a podium, a microphone here in the center of the room, so because of the audio and video and all that stuff, when it gets to questions, if you could step up to the microphone to ask your questions, that would be very helpful. We do have, this is a nonprofit youth sports organization. I hope this goes without saying, but just there's a lot of people here. There are also some kids here, so if we could just do our best to just keep everything civil and respectful, we will do the same on our end. Before getting to your questions, we are going to be going through our normal monthly board meeting. We will do our best to get through it as quickly as possible. Leave as much time as possible for your questions. So with that, we're going to move on to the agenda.
Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? What do you think? Missing information? Okay. Well, we can review those. We'll turn the volume up. Oh, sorry. Is that better? Can everyone hear me in the back? Thank you. We were just talking about the minutes. Ryan was saying that there's some missing information, so I was hoping to get them posted tonight, but Ryan, we can go over that, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, and then hopefully get them posted as quickly as we can. I know you guys were asking for those to be posted, so. The next item on the agenda, if everybody's looking, is just statements from the board. We know that there's a huge crowd here tonight. We know that there's a lot of questions and some concerns, so we put together some statements just to kind of make sure that everybody knows where the board is coming from. And so with that, I'll just read the statement. Due to the attendance tonight, as well as the communication we've received in the last weeks, the board of directors would like to provide the following statements. We'll then go on to do our normal monthly agenda, which isn't too long this month, and end with time for questions. You'll notice, for those of you who have the agenda, it's been updated since the one that we sent out with the first notice of the meeting, so there's less limitations on questions and time and all that stuff. Really, the only limitation we have is that at 9 we have to cut off the meeting. So, since our December 16th meeting of the SCSA Board of Directors, Multiple members of SCSA and or the Alliance program have reached out to the board of directors with questions and concerns. Most of these questions and concerns are based on incomplete or inaccurate information and perceptions. As noted in the minutes, which will be posted as soon as we get the information that we need on them, a vote was taken to enter into the initial phase of a purchase agreement for the house on Morgantown Road, the one with the big white fence, which passed with 3 yea votes and 1 absentee board member. This was later confirmed with 3 yea votes and 1 abstention. The house was to be used as the SCSA administrative building, with offices for the director of coaching, the executive director, and any other administrative officials. It was also to be used as a board meeting location and as a parking center, offering 100 to 200 additional parking spots during heavy traffic periods like tournaments and such. The initial purchase agreement was based on multiple approvals, appraisals, and contingencies. Since that meeting, it was determined that the multiple contingencies could not be met, and both parties, one of them was me, agreed to terminate the purchase agreement. So no purchase of real estate has or will be scheduled. Thank you. As noted in those same minutes, give me a second to admit the people who are watching online. There we go. As noted in those same minutes, a vote was held to terminate our director of coaching. This vote passed with 3 yea votes and 1 abstention. Myself and the rest of the board of directors would like to thank Matt, our ex-director of coaching, for his decades of service to the club, especially his effort to aid the club during the COVID-19 pandemic, and we wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. As noted in those same minutes, a vote was held to recognize the matter of fact that Center Grove Soccer Club and Alliance Sports Partners are separate financial entities. There was no vote to disband, defund, or dismantle Alliance 11 in any way. Since that meeting, we as a board have met with the Alliance 11 administration, as well as the Cutters Board of Directors, and we continue to improve the definitions of our strategic partnership with Cutters to grow and improve Alliance 11 over the long term. We sent out a message that we co-wrote with Cutters last week, and it said foreseeable future, but by that we meant long term. I know we had some people reach out that asked what does the foreseeable future mean, and that wording might have left a little bit up for interpretation, but we see it as long term. I hope that helps. In the aftermath of the vote to recognize the matter of fact that Alliance Sports Partners is a separate financial entity, board member Jeff Purdy was no longer eligible to participate on the SCSA Board of Directors. No vote was taken to remove a board member. We as a board want to thank Jeff, I think he's here this evening, for his decade of service in a volunteer capacity at SCSA, especially his leadership through the COVID-19 pandemic. That's something that some of us on the board didn't know the extent of his volunteer capacity, especially during that time, and we have found that out over the last couple of weeks, so thank you, Jeff. That concludes our statements from the board, and of course we can talk about all those in the question time later on. The next item on the agenda is a roll call. This is, I think, the largest board meeting that we have ever had, and so I'm guessing that there are people sitting up here that you guys don't know or have never met. I see a lot of familiar faces, but I don't know everybody by name, and so I'm sure there are people who don't know me, and I'm sure that goes for everybody on here. So we were going to do just a quick roll call, and we'll probably just go down the line and mention who we are and why we're sitting at this table, and then we'll move on to the next items.
Hi, I'm Corey Hennessy. I've coached the 09 Boys Red Team and the 2012 Boys Red Team, and I've worked with the goalkeepers and was recently appointed as the interim director of facilities.
Hello, my name is Coach Carlos. I'm the club technical director, and I'm here to represent the coaches. Oh, I'm a technical director.
My name is Adam Trotter. I'm the interim DOC and was also one of the academy coaches as well.
My name's Garrett Fiorenza. I'm one of the board members. I actively serve as a treasurer, and currently I'm the acting secretary. And this is my first foray into being on the board.
My name is Angie Podesta. This is my third year on the board, and I am currently recently in the president role, and I have 3 kids playing at SCSA, different ages, obviously.
Good evening, my name is Evan Fiorenza, and I'm the vice president of the board currently. I have 2 kids in the program, ages 8 and 10, and I'm very excited by the amount of involvement that we've seen in the past month. We have some very passionate parents and members, and I think that's only a good thing and leads to a strong SCSA, and that was the goal. So I'm happy you're all here.
Hi, my name is Jen Mann. I'm here as a player advocate. It's my first time serving on the board. I have a daughter who's part of the 2015 program and a son who has moved through the program.
My name is Ryan Durrell. Serving my 4th term on the board, so roughly 12 years in the program. I have 3 boys that have played through the program, one in the Alliance program as well.
I'm Cody Grauman. I'm the executive director. I also coach our 07 and 08 boys team, Black.
The next item up for the agenda is bathroom remodel update. This was a priority for us when we ran for these positions. The bathrooms have been in dire need of attention for a long time, enough to get some new board members on the board. So we've been going back and forth with a local Bargersville construction company, Duke Commercial. They do not only homes, custom homes, very nice ones, but also commercial work and commercial remodels. So they were the first call because we're pretty much in their neighborhood, and they've been a partner of SCSA in the past. So I'm holding in my hand the proposal for design services, which I'm sure will pass, and we'll go over these details at a later date, for a completely remodeled restroom, main restroom. We haven't looked at the south restrooms yet, but it'll essentially double the restrooms in size. It'll go from between 12 to 15 stalls and urinals on each men and women's side, respectively. It'll be completely new. It will not call for any new water lines, which is a big win for us. We thought that was going to be kind of a big burden, having to cut up parking lot and run in new water lines. They've assured us that the type of toilet is more of a factor, so we won't have to dig up anything and put a new water line. So that's great. So we're essentially ready to get started and sign for this proposal for design services. Once permitting and the architectural review has taken place, it's about a 5-week project. So our goal is to have those brand new bathrooms operational by the first tournament, which is this spring. So, good news for the bathrooms.
That design proposal, that doesn't lock us into moving forward with them as like for the real construction?
The design proposal is pretty much through their architectural people, their architects. This is just the design services proposal. So we would take this, you purchase this, and then you take that. Duke would hope that we would use them, and I'm sure they would be a great company to move forward. But you take those drawings and those architectural plans that we've purchased, and you can get other bids, you can get other quotes. I think we should get between 2 and 3 other quotes, and yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, my question was, are we getting 3 bids on the design feature as well? Because per our SOP for spending money, it's 2 to 3 vendors before we price anything out.
I have found that in order to get a bid from a company that could actually do the project, we need drawings. So I was under the impression that these were just the drawings to use to get those bids. But I can get 3 more from 3 more architects.
You should follow the SOPs if you're going to do for everything.
Sorry guys, we're not at the question point yet.
Statement.
Sure. Well, we're excited to present that we have 1 of 3 design proposals in hand. So this is $6,000 for this drawing. $6,000
Do we
from.
have to pay that, or is that just?
That's the cost for the plans.
If we use them, do we have to pay that 6,000? Or is that just?
If we choose to use, the way I was presented it, if we choose to use Duke, then we wouldn't be, that would be credited towards the project, but something to keep in mind.
All right, hey, guys, this is our monthly board meeting, and I know that everybody has opinions on every single item that's on our list. But if we want to get to the actual question and answer time, and I know all of you want to get there, it'll be really, really tricky to do that in our board meeting time. Well, I know, and Ryan raised a great point about getting multiple design proposals, and so we'll have to do that. So.
Somebody must have known there was SOPs if you removed them from the website.
Are we ready to move on? Anyone?
No.
Should I just suggest that we ask questions after each point in the agenda? To do it that way. So each item here, you can do the questions on it, then move on to the next one. You could even do it with some kind of time.
Well, let's just do questions, then move on to your agenda.
Everyone agrees that we can ask questions?
You guys know why we're here, so let's address it now.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Let's.
Either the president or the secretary can run the meeting. So as acting secretary, he was running it, but if you guys would like me to run it, that's completely fine.
I have a question. I have a question for the crowd. Would it be okay if we at least have our director of coaching give his report, since this is his first month as director of coaching?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll run through the other stuff. The only other item that I really want to get to before the question and answer thing is the turf field lease finalization. And so if it's okay with the crowd, I'll go over that as well, because I'm the one who would go over that, because I'm the one who has the information on that. Would that be all right?
All right, well, like I said earlier, my name is Adam Trotter. I've been appointed as the interim DOC, and so I've just been continuing on what has started in the fall into the spring, continuing on scheduling our facilities for both us and Alliance as well, as we've got several Alliance teams that are going to Arizona, so making sure that they get the proper time in our facilities to prepare for the event later this month. But then also looking forward to what's to come this spring. And I know there's been a lot of chatter around Top Soccer, but it is my goal to continue Top Soccer this spring. And so I was a vital part of that the past few seasons, helping getting volunteers for Laura, coordinating with her. And so that will continue on this spring. So just know that from me, that did not end. That is going to continue on, because it's great for the community. It's great for the players that are involved in that, but it's also great for those that can help out and give back to players that are less fortunate to play the game. And so that is going to continue on. I'm working towards that. And just some other, thank you. And some other things. And so I just want to keep it brief and succinct so we can move on from that. But I'm just excited about what is next and what we're going to continue doing here at SCSA. So thank you very much.
All right, the only other item that I wanted to get to, because it's an item that has good news, is the turf field lease finalization. That lease has been fully executed. I dropped it off at Town Hall this morning. And so I was really hoping to get the padlock removed from our turf field today. But we have a meeting set with a couple of town council members and the board, as well as the town's attorney tomorrow. And they said, well, let's leave it on there until then, and we'll talk at our meeting, and then hopefully get it removed right after. And so that is I know a point of very high interest, especially for the Alliance teams that have wanted to get on there for your guys' tournament that's coming up. So hopefully as of tomorrow, fingers crossed, we can get the padlock taken off.
Can you describe what caused that whole padlock situation?
Yes. So the lease for the turf field began going between this board and the town's attorney and the town council members last May. That's May 2025. And as you know, last summer was when the turf field was actually constructed. So the previous board was, as I understand it, going back and forth with the attorneys for an extensive period of time. The turf field got done sometime in August. That's when the club actually sold the land where the turf field sits to the town of Bargersville. And then the turf field was completed shortly after that. The lease was still not finalized at that point. So I'm not sure what took so long. That's a very long time. The new iteration of the board had our first board meeting on November 20-something, 23rd, 24th. And we got a signed copy of the final version of Bargersville's lease to us on the 25th or 26th of November. I was new to the board, so was Evan, and we had never seen the lease. We didn't know anything about it, and so we had decided to send it to one more independent attorney for review. That happened, we got that completed on Tuesday. And so we met with an attorney and went over everything on Tuesday, and then I signed the lease yesterday.
And did that review cost the club anything, or was that like a pro bono kind of?
Yeah, that review will cost the club, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think attorney fees on a lease, you know, that lease was a 49-year lease, and so that's a pretty important thing to have right. But I'm not sure what the attorney's hourly rate is. I assume it's something like $300 an hour, and I think he spent, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, so something like $600. We have not gotten the invoice for it. That's why I don't know. Yes, the treasurer would know if we had an invoice. I know what his hourly rate is, which is something like $300 an hour. I'm not sure what that has to do with the lease or the attorney fees. I had never seen this lease before I got elected, so that's why we had it reviewed.
I also had never seen the lease, so it was new to me as well. I was. I asked for it. Yes, I asked repeatedly to see the lease. Honestly, I thought it was done. I was not involved in any of the discussions, and it was not due to my own desire. So I saw that lease for the very first time on November 25th when it was sent to us. I mean, what am I gonna, I mean, I asked for it. I asked to be involved in the meetings. I asked to be a part of all of it, and I was not included in it. Yes.
What are you implying?
Whether intentionally, I'm not saying, I don't know, but I was not a part of it. Did we vote on what? I'm sorry? To sign the lease?
Like previously? Is that your question? That's what I would mean.
Yes, I'm saying back when.
Yeah, back in, yeah, that's my question.
No. But when this all first happened, no. No. No, she's talking about at the beginning when all this was happening.
The word.
How could you go into a 50 or 49-year agreement with Town of Parkersville and not vote on it?
That's a great question. So myself and Angie met with the attorney, and then we consulted with Evan afterwards, and the three of us agreed that the lease was in good standing. Ryan had made his opinion known long ago that the lease needed to be signed as soon as possible. And so, did the board hold an official vote at a board meeting? No.
So you signed a 49-year lease without the board's approval, is that right?
Is it now? Are you talking about the original lease or the one that was just executed yesterday?
Do you see Evan looking at me? Yeah, he's pissed.
Did we have? So I'm a little confused because the same situation happened with the signature of the deed. I don't believe there was a recorded board vote or a public meeting for the sale of the land. I don't believe there was a board vote on the last lease for the parking lot, and I was not. Well, I have looked at all the minutes from the meetings, and I wasn't aware of any public meeting.
I was on the board.
She never saw the lease.
There was no vote that I was a part of with regard to the deed.
That's really sad. It's not about you. It's not about a stupid thing in the house. It's not about anything else. It doesn't seem like you've got a board that knows how to operate a not-for-profit corporation.
Sir. There is a process to this, and there is an open election, and I bet there are dozens of qualified people in this room, and there were 5 people that chose to put their time.
And he tried here and told he didn't qualify because he had a picture of the place. Because he's a coach.
I didn't write the bylaws. I tried my best to stick to the bylaws, but I didn't write them. Hold on. What I'm just saying is, if you have such strong opinions on how it should run, you should run for a seat on the board, and I'm sure you would do great.
Come on. That's low.
Excuse me. I would like to make very clear that it was not the people sitting up here who created the SOP that would not allow a coach to be on the board. That was previously voted by the previous board. So right or wrong, whether you agree with it or not, it wasn't like, I don't want everyone thinking that we said, no, you cannot run. That was not a part of anything we've done. Just to clarify.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to cut you off, but we're getting a lot of
What you going to?
messages from online that nobody can hear. So can we have the people who would like to ask questions come to the microphone? That way the speaker can pick it up. Would that be all right? Can we return to the agenda so we can finish that? I have a little bit of order, so to speak. That would be fine with me.
All right, so the turf field lease finalization update is done. We have the DOC report, so if we could have the, I'm sorry, what did we? Oh, I'm sorry, yes. We skipped the Viva fundraising event update.
As far as for Viva this year, after a meeting with Carl, it's way behind where it needs to be to have a successful event. So that's
Do
all.
you really think it could be successful at this point?
I'm sorry.
Do you really think it could be successful at this point?
Last year it actually was successful.
A year ago, yes, but I'm talking with everything that's happened over the last 2 months. Do you really think that can be a successful event? To even spend time and effort and money to get it. To even spend time, effort, or money to put into it.
I mean, as a whole, it's kind of where I'm at. I just don't feel that we are in a place to have that event.
I agree.
So,
I mean, I would say, I think there's hesitancy to cut something else without everyone being aware, because then there's more rumors that would start to flow if there's, oh, they're cutting Viva, they're cutting this, they're cutting that. So I think there's hesitancy, but I also think there's wisdom to say, I don't think that's smart to do, but we're also trying to balance the two in contention with one another. And so I don't know if that's something that, I don't know how you guys want to go about addressing that, if it's a vote that we take to say do we do it or not, or, but I think it's,
Where are we at on the signups?
Can it be postponed?
so Ryan asked where we, with signups, and Carl Chambers has that information that we don't have access to right now, so.
With that, I would like to make an official motion to postpone the Viva fundraising event to re-examine a potential future date. Anybody want a second? That? Second? Vote aye. Ryan? Aye. Carlos? Okay. So Viva is officially postponed. We will discuss that at a later date. We covered the turf field lease finalization. We covered the interim DOC report, so the interim director of facilities reports.
just gonna take this as a learning as I go right now. We just stepped into this position, so that's, I mean, I don't have anything. I don't have anything right now. I mean, evaluate where we are as far as safety and security for the grounds and the players, and then my goal is just to move forward from there. Ryan's question was, do we have anybody to cut the grass or do any of the cleaning yet? And no, we do not.
All right, moving on to the permanent director of coaching search. I mean, we're in the initial stages, so there's not a lot to update about that either. So communication on that will be coming out as soon as we can.
I just would like to discuss with the board on the permanent DOC search. It seems like this is something that typically happens with a committee. Whenever you hear of a big-time coaching decision at like a university or something, the president or athletic director or whomever will have a search committee, and I think that would be a really good way to do it. But we haven't gotten to that point, but I think that would be smart.
I have a question. So typically you make decisions like this, you have a strategy of what you're going to go after. So you had issues with Matt that happened and he's moved on. So you're going to bring in a new coach, director of coaching. So what are the traits you're looking for a person? Is there a strategy how you're going to do, how you're going to explore the options? Are you going to bring groups together to talk to the club?
Yeah, so
Anything?
this is all, again, we're in the very beginning stages, so this is all stuff to be discussed.
It's been 2 months.
It's been 1 month.
You November 24th, so I'm like a week out of 2 months.
That wasn't when that happened. It was December 16th.
Okay.
So it's been 1 month. So obviously we've had a lot going on in this month, but it is an absolute priority, 100%. It was one of the biggest reasons that we made it a priority to get an interim director of coaching in so that we could keep operations going and give us some time to find the right person. So those are fantastic questions, fantastic points, and those will all be discussed. I love the idea of putting an official committee together, a search committee, and so, as I said, information will be coming soon.
Do you have a timeline that you would like to have something in place? Since we got clubs going to Arizona that are playing, we've got league season starting very early in March. I know we've got people doing tournaments very soon, so just curious.
I think as soon as we can find the right person, as you say, we would like to do that as soon as possible. We do have our interim DOC has a contract through the end of June, and so he will be here helping us out at least until then, and hopefully we would have it buttoned up well before then. But I had a question about, you were saying the traits, and then you asked if we would bring in candidates to the club.
No, what I was saying, you're looking for traits and somebody to fill the position, and are you looking to have people from our club that help do the search or at least explore options? So, you're making a decision of the board, but you're doing it on behalf of our club.
Exactly.
The members of our club. So I think it'd be fair for the people as part of the club to be part of this search, or at least provide input of what they're looking for. Because I think a lot of people were very happy with Matt over the years and the things he really did for the club beyond just what you see. I've seen him spend money out of his pocket, do things for the kids in the club. Taking the time, he shows up to a lot of tournaments that he doesn't need to be there, and he's sitting there. I'm sorry. So he would show up. He's on the sidelines, going far to be there for the kids and providing things for them. I think he did a great job, and he was really well liked. So, I hope the person you bring in would have some of the same traits, and you listen to the people in the club.
Yeah, I can't speak for the entire board, but I can give you my opinion, and that's exactly how I thought a good search for a DOC would be, a committee of people from kind of every aspect of the club, and of course some board involvement, but mainly club people that could go out and search for someone.
What about the other coaches within the club? Will you include them as well?
Would I include
our coaches as part of this search?
In the search committee, I think they should have a very big role in any search committee for a DOC, yes. But that's what I think personally. We haven't discussed it as a board, so I can't give you an official notice or anything, but that's my personal opinion.
All right. Appreciate it.
There's one question before that. Why was he let go in the first place? I want to know why he was let go, because I come up from Bloomington to SCSA because he was director of coaching and he got together a really great group of coaches. And that everything was running nice and smoothly. I want to know why he was let go. And I don't know if everyone else knows, but that's the fundamental question.
we will not be answering any questions with regard to that tonight.
So,
I will say he was.
for the members of the club.
I would
If
say
you're not
he-
allowed to do that, there's something wrong. I want to know a legal reason why you can't give that answer, why you let it go.
I would say that he was let go for breach of contract. We can't go further than that. I'm sorry. I would love to. I really would, but. Can you come up to the mic for that? The question was, when the decision was made to terminate the director of coaching, did we? I know, I'm just repeating it for people online that can't hear, sorry. Did we give him a reason why he was let go? That's right. I can't remember the
It's a
exact
yes
phone
or no
call.
question. You either did or you
I honestly, I
didn't.
can't remember the exact phone call. I think we did.
Does he know?
Yeah, for the
We-
record,
we
on the
will
coach's
not-
call that's made public, you said you didn't tell. Just for the
Correct.
record.
We have
Get your story straight.
we have communicated it. We will not be answering any questions about it.
On the coach's call, I said I didn't. I'm being honest, I didn't remember. So, no, we did not.
Okay, if I could for just a second, I'd like to read from the bylaws. Article 4. You got it. Article 4, execution of instruments and deposit of corporate funds. Section 1, execution of instruments generally. All contracts of and other instruments requiring execution by the corporation shall be signed by the president or an officer or vice president of the corporation, provided, however, that authority to sign any contracts of or other instruments requiring execution by the corporation may be conferred by the board of directors upon any person or persons, whether or not such person or persons be officers of the corporation, and provided further that such person or persons may delegate from time to time by instrument in writing all or any part of such authority to any other person or persons if authorized to do so by the board. So I just heard from you, Garrett, that you signed a 49-year contract for the lease of the field. Did the board give you that authority? And when did they do that?
What's your name?
My name is Nathan Peterman.
Hey, Nathan. As I understood it, I did have the authority to do
When did they provide you that authority?
on Tuesday evening. I say Tuesday evening.
Was there a vote? Was there a meeting Tuesday evening?
So on Tuesday evening, I met with Angie and with Evan just to go over our meeting with our attorneys.
So was that a board meeting?
That wouldn't have been an official board meeting, no.
So two people approved it outside of a board meeting? Is that right?
Why wasn't the rest of the board invited to the meeting?
Is this another coffee chat?
Brian was not.
So
in the
there
meeting
wasn't a
on
board
Tuesday.
meeting, and you don't have the approval of the organization to sign that document?
It would presume no, as far as you're explaining it.
So that's no.
So it's a no.
So
I understand you terminated Matt for a violation of an SOP, is that correct?
no, we terminated Matt for breach of contract.
Okay. So then I'll say, yeah, that's right, you did say that in the meeting. So my question is specifically then, do you acknowledge that you didn't have board authority to execute that contract?
I suppose the answer would have to be yes, yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable with
Nathan,
people
let me-
serving on the board who don't know what they're doing. I'm furthermore deeply uncomfortable with severe actions being taken that jeopardize the future of this club, that jeopardize the relationships we have with our coaches and directors
with no experience or understanding. When I spoke on the phone with you, Evan, about Alliance, you declared it's a separate entity. You said it's separate, independent, with its own facilities and staff in Bloomington. It's not, it may be a 501c3. This club controls 50% of that board. It's very well stated to be a joint venture. I can't believe the number of things that have occurred with ignorance. I'd like to think it was ignorance, but most of us here think it's malice. And it's one thing to be naive and try to make changes that you don't understand, but it's another to jeopardize what we care about, and that's our kids. And I've had enough. It's clear you have no idea what you're doing. The board also says the president, the bylaws also say a president should run the meeting, for crying out loud. But I'm not comfortable with my kids in this club when I can't tell where it's going, and these coaches don't have anybody that believes in them up there on this stage. I cannot believe that we're going to watch people walk that care about our kids because you don't know what you're doing. And he demonstrated it just now.
Well, I'm Katie Petralia. It's nice to meet you all. We've talked by email. I want to bring it down a little bit, hopefully. I want to first say thank you guys for doing this. I know this is probably very uncomfortable for you guys, as well as it's uncomfortable for me and probably a lot of the parents out there. But we're here because we care very, very deeply about this club. And that includes Alliance, quite frankly. And you guys, you just have to understand how that hurt us to say that we weren't part of your club. Because we all believe in our hearts that we are. But what my question concerns, though, is my husband and I are both attorneys. I don't think there's any attorney on the board right now. And I have very deep concerns about possible exposure to litigation against SCSA because of some of the actions that have been taken. And that includes sending the email that was sent to hundreds of members about Matt, and certainly implied that he had done some things that I sure hope he didn't do, because Matt did great things for my sons as well. But my question is, was legal counsel sought before you terminated Matt or before you sent that email?
Angie, go.
President.
Come on, Prez.
President.
You do have a mouth, speak. Good God.
There was some legal counsel that was sought before.
That's a yes or no question.
Was it official? Was it official? Was it through SCSA?
I really hope so, because otherwise these actions that have been rash and rushed, done at the first board meeting you guys had, these have serious consequences, and that's why we're here. And that's why we want you guys to slow down and listen to us. A lot of us elected you guys, and it just feels like you're not doing what we thought you were going to do, and there just wasn't transparency.
You also are doing things that jeopardize our
Thank you.
501(c)(3) status, which will make this place go broke.
Thank you so much for those statements. Truly, from my heart, thank you. We can agree that there have been things that moved a little quick and with haste, and we were excited to be a new iteration of the board. I know I was. And we have learned very quickly over the last month, and talking to tens and dozens and maybe even hundreds of members, that pace and that understanding needs to slow down just a little bit. So thank you for that.
It's also what you're doing. It's not just the pace.
Yes.
So my question is also in regards to the firing of Matt Hoyt in a expedited manner. It's also a yes or no question. Did you, Garrett, Angie, and Evan discuss the firing of Matt LaHoyt before that December 16th board meeting without the presence of Ryan Durrell or Jeff Purdy?
Discuss?
Discuss and decide on.
We did not decide, but I did reach out to Angie with Matt's contract, and I did reach out to Evan with Matt's contract, yes.
And not Ryan or Jeff, who are active members of the board.
That is correct.
Why not?
Why not?
Why wouldn't you include all members of the board at that time to make such a huge decision for this club? I would like to hear their reasoning.
Well, let me reiterate, no decision was made until the board meeting, but
In which you voted after Jeff Purdy was removed from the board meeting. Is that correct?
well, he wasn't removed from the board.
I'm sorry?
He wasn't, we took no vote to remove him from the board. He was found to be ineligible because of the bylaws.
So he was not in the room when he was technically still on the board.
He was not in the room when we voted to terminate the director of coaching. That is
Okay.
correct.
And was Ryan Durrell in the room when you voted to terminate the director of coaching?
Yes, he was.
Ryan?
I resigned and said I had nothing to do with this vote and I left.
We'll let Ryan answer this question. I think we have.
I think the question really is, when was this decision made? And how did you come to this conclusion that you would be bringing it up at this board meeting without Jeff Purdy's involvement?
So, here Ryan has to say.
And what Ryan
Yeah, Ryan,
thinks, yes.
were you in the room?
To my best of my knowledge, I was not there, and the video would show that, because it was recorded.
Are those the minutes? Are we talking about the video and minutes that were?
Was there 3 yeas and 1 nay?
There were 3 yeas and an abstention.
It's my understanding it was a 3-0 vote. Is that correct? Not 3-1?
It was 3 yays and an abstention.
No, it wasn't on the video. Were any of them notified and asked for opinions or thoughts, even testimonies, anything before the 2 new, 1 current board member decided to make that vote?
No.
My name's Mike Hoffman. I have a couple of kids playing, one kid now playing soccer here. I've had kids playing soccer here forever. I've coached here as a volunteer for a lot of years. I sit on other boards, on nonprofit boards, okay? You guys have been in power for 45 days. You've made some massive decisions that this is probably more people at a board meeting than all the board meetings you have ever had in totality in the entire time that this club was here. That's how many people you pissed off. I can't be on the board who have knowledge because I'm a coach. You have a coach on the board. He's a paid coach. Well, you guys don't understand your own bylaws. You're self-dealing. Only because there was so much mess did you buy a house for $405,000 and not sell it to the club, the two brothers, for $495. Try to take 90 grand, stop, please. Try to take 90 grand from a nonprofit when everybody here is trying to do is get kids involved and outside and off of phones. You don't know your SOGs. You don't know your SOPs. How many of you have ever served on a board before? Aren't you the one that said you didn't know about the impropriety? You were treasurer last year, right?
I was.
Yeah. And you couldn't figure it out, even though you have a degree in finance and economics?
I do. You researched me.
Yeah, I did. And you're the president, but he's running the table. Did you know that you can't make a motion? You can discuss it, but you know by Robert's Rule of Orders, somebody else has to make a motion, and somebody else has to second it, you're allowed to vote. But as the president or chairman, you can't make a motion. And you did. I'm sorry. Here's the deal, okay? I appreciate what you guys are trying to do. You fired a director of coaching without talking to all his coaches. That's insane. Okay? The only thing stupider than that is Carly Ursay not getting rid of our head coach and our general manager at the Colts. Okay? And if I could do something about that, believe me, I would. Okay? 9 years of no playoffs. But the bottom line is this. I appreciate what you're trying to do. You just admitted you just took over a job. You got nobody to stripe the field. You got nobody to pick up trash. You got nobody to cut the grass. There's 36 fields out there. You spent $6,000 to get a drawing for a fucking bathroom, excuse my language, a bathroom where you could have gone to any local company, not the guy that builds $2 million homes, and I love Mike Duke. I do a lot of stuff with him, okay? You wouldn't have to spend any money. And then you have to, as a nonprofit, go out and get 3 bids. Not 3 designs and spend another $12,000, but 3 bids. I appreciate what you're trying to do. You guys have messed up to the point of unbelievably messing up. There's 2,000 kids here, which means there's at least 1,000 parents. I never got a ballot to vote for any of you people. How could that be? I think you guys ought to resign, and I think you guys should have a new election and let the 2,000 people or the 1,000 people, the 2,300 kids, those parents, transparently vote for a board. And I think anything you've done so far needs to be unwound. I'm not sure all of you won't be elected again, okay? But if you're going to be elected again, okay, read the rules first and how they work. You don't get rid of your coaching director because somebody's pissed off about something or somebody didn't make a travel team or something else without talking to all the coaches that are here who are extremely upset, and all the parents that are here who are extremely upset. I think you ought to step back. I think there should be new elections. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello. So I think there's also a lot of parents here. I think there's also a lot of parents here that are on the side of making the club a better place, of making changes. Obviously, there were a lot of mistakes made in the past with the previous board, and you guys, there's going to be some growing pains with switching positions, having new people. All of the changes need to be made. Everyone's upset that the field was locked, but how dare you make a decision to unlock the field? Things like that. I think there's a lot of people here on your side as well. I think we all want the best for our children. My son's been in rec league for many years. I was a part of this league for a very long time. As a player, as a referee, growing up was amazing. And since my son's been in soccer for a number of years now, there have been a very limited number of coaching staff. It's been hard to get volunteers. It's been hard to get parents to step up. We've looked out and had parents very last minute, like the second practice, come in and take over. So someone wasn't handling the fact of recruiting parents and getting them educated to help to start our kids on the right path. I'm in the rec league, so I feel like a lot of these parents aren't in the rec league. You know, the ones that are upset, they're in the much higher paid travel leagues. And there's a lot of kids here that want to play rec soccer. They want to get excited about soccer, and they can move up and on if they need to. The point is to have a facility and a group of coaches and a group of players that love the sport and want to be a part of this. And again, aside from the growing pains and misdecisions and whatever else that happens, there's also a lot of right going on. Hopefully, whatever happens, the best thing for the club comes forward and we can all just be happy and proud. We all pay dues in some respect to be a part of this club, be it high dues for travel, be it lower dues for rec league, whatever your point is. If you're in the Alliance, everyone pays into the program. As long as we make decisions that forward the program and get things moving in the right direction, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully decisions are made that move things forward. Sorry for a little short breath. It's such a negative thing up here. I'm going to get a lot of boos and bad looks as I walk away, but I think there's a lot of people here on your side that aren't speaking up and that aren't saying things because there's so many people here that feel negatively about what's happened. So I apologize. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for volunteering for what you do. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Ryan. I do think that Ryan and the previous man who was up there do have the same goal, believe it or not, and that is to make soccer better, and that is what my goal is as a part of the board. And I don't know about the other board members, but I think I can speak for them as well, that is our goal as a collective board, is to make soccer better and to grow the sport.
I am Cassie. I have, in most part, 4 kids that are involved here one way or another within Alliance, the academy, and also just kind of toddler age doing programming that's involved here. I think one thing that I kind of have an issue with is, from my understanding, Jeff Purdy was released via not falling within the bylaws, right, of having an Alliance only child. Is that correct?
Not released, but not eligible because of the bylaw, yeah.
I think that's something that really needs to be re-looked over. I think Alliance is a huge part of the program. They should be represented, because it's also my understanding that the board for Alliance is made up of board members from each program involved. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we're saying that no true Alliance parent has the opportunity to be on the board, therefore to sit on the Alliance board. Does that sound completely crazy to anybody else besides me?
I don't entirely, personally, I don't entirely disagree with that. The challenge that you run into is that the Alliance bylaws were written without necessary consideration of the SCSA bylaws. And so we, as an organization, cannot allow another organization's bylaws to override our own.
But you're saying it's also in our bylaws that an Alliance-only parent can't sit on the board.
That's the part that's in our bylaws.
Right. So I follow. Yeah, I would motion that definitely needs to be looked over. It needs to be rewritten, because therefore Alliance is not getting any representation on the board, and therefore not being able to be involved in any decision involving the programming that we are in. I mean, every kid in Alliance came up through this program for the most part. Yes. I mean, we literally live here, and I don't like the fact that we do not have the opportunity to have any type of say-so. So just in consideration, this is definitely something that needs to be looked at and rewritten.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dan Applebaum. I'm the boys varsity head coach at Whiteland. So I guess my big question is, I don't have a lot of the same things as these parents. I don't have a kid in the program. My children don't play soccer as much as I may wish they do. I think it's the greatest sport in the world, they don't. However, within your program, I have hundreds of athletes. What direction are you going? You spoke to all this excitement and all these things you're wanting to do. What is it? Because that's what we need to know. I need to know what I'm sending my athletes to. So what direction is this board going with this? Because with Matt, I had an idea. We were working on things to better not just the entire South Side with soccer. So where are we going?
I think that's a great question, and I think that we would love the opportunity to be able to share that with everybody. To be completely frank, to be completely frank, those are discussions we really haven't had the opportunity to come together and have.
You got it.
I can answer that because I am very excited about the future of soccer here. So my vision for soccer here is improvement, and not just in one aspect of the program, but in every level of the program. And so in order to do that, you have to have a few things in place. You have to have a good administration. You have to have a very good director of coaching. You have to have good coaches. You have to have great facilities. And you have to have a clear direction on how to progress kids from not just a rec program, but into academy programs, and then even into the alliance programs. And on every single level, that would be my excitement, is to get the people from what we do as a board is really just overseeing, putting the people in place, like a director of coaching, to then go out and say, let's make sure that our coaches are the best that we have, and then also from the board perspective, let's make sure the facilities are the best that we have. That's what I'm excited about.
Okay, well, one last question, and I've been lucky enough to know a lot of these coaches. Absolutely fantastic. I've learned a lot from them. Were any of them talked to for the interim director?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Todd Allen. Just on your vision, Garrett, you had mentioned about the DOC. My concern, honestly, is that we're the laughing stock of Indiana soccer right now. Every club knows about this. And if I was a DOC, I wouldn't touch this place with a 10-foot pole. So that's my concern. Secondly, on that, we've got a lot of great coaches. Matt, as a DOC, was really good at getting great coaches here. And with him being abruptly removed, if I was a coach, I would be very fearful and I would just go somewhere else. And so my concern is that my kids are going to lose a lot of the great coaches that we have here. So, so just a statement, no reaction. I do have a question though. So the board stated that the November election does not need to be redone because Alliance families' votes were removed and and the outcome did not change. Did the board formally notify the membership that a recount occurred?
No, we had no formal recount. All we did was we separated out of curiosity, mainly my curiosity, we separated out the votes between SCSA members and Alliance members. There was no formal recount. There was no, I don't know what you call it, but there was no redo of the election. It was just, was this an email that you wrote me?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Was that a reply?
No, I did not write an
okay.
email, no.
Well, somebody wrote an email to me, and I responded back that I think that exact thing, just saying, hey, you know, I looked at it, and the vote tallies wouldn't have changed anything. But there was no redoing of a vote or anything.
So, are we certain that the 8th grade trap players were included or excluded in the count of the votes?
I mean, like the
So you had said that, yep, in the original vote, in the vote that you then confirmed that it didn't make a change, were the 8th grade trap players' votes included or excluded?
I don't think it went that far. I don't think we separated it out by team. So to answer your question, I don't know.
So how would you know what the actual election results are? Either one. Whatever vote that you confirm that this election was actually legit and the outcome is the outcome.
I think maybe Cody would be the best person to answer that because you tally the votes. Obviously I wasn't on the board during the election, so I can't answer that.
Yeah, so Jeff would have probably been the best person to answer your question since he was the one that helps tally votes. But there wasn't anything that went down to specific teams. It was just travel versus rec versus tops. So just so that it's really just so that whenever we clarify that the individual voting is a part of the club. It helps me narrow down which of the 2,000 people and which program to go into, so I don't have to look through 2,000 individuals for all the votes, if that helps.
Sort of. I don't think it is making, good feelings that we actually know what the outcome of the election is then. I mean, for example, trap players that maybe were playing with Alliance, right? They're registered and considered as SCA members. They're registered as an SCSA player, not an Alliance player. I mean, honestly, it sounds like you guys don't know what the rules are. Again, and that's my concern.
Hi, my name is Molly Griggs, and I have a daughter and a son that both play, and also my husband has been a coach for the academy as well. My question is directed at you, Garrett. Did you or did you not approach somebody that was also running for the board on the sideline during her Nightmare at the Rock game, her daughter's Nightmare at the Rock game, and ask her and almost begged her to not run because it would be in her best interest?
No, I don't believe I said best interest.
Yes, you did. I witnessed it, and it felt so yucky and like a used car salesman. I was like, what is happening here?
Was this on Sunday of Nightmare?
It probably was.
Yeah.
And we have several witnesses that did witness it, and it did not feel right.
And it did not work.
But the fact that you did it is a testament of your character. Who does that? Well, make sure that me and my brother get on the board so that way we can monopolize. Right here. Let me introduce Risa.
So I'm nervous to come here because
Hey, Risa. It's all right. It's all right.
my daughter is a third grader and she plays with mostly fourth graders, and it's changing next year. And she has played with the fifth graders in tournaments. She is a good player, and I don't want to affect her playing up next year. But you came to me and you said that I need to drop out of the election and that I would get a spot if I would just hold tight and drop out now. You said that to me during my daughter's last tournament of the season.
Horrible.
And I was ready.
Step down.
And I didn't listen to you. And then
This is horrible.
I was on a date night with my husband in Bartersville, and I saw the three of you at Upseller with laptops and spreadsheets.
Yep.
You tell me that wasn't about SCSA in November before elections.
That was before.
I love SCSA. We are a community. We love each other. The women, the moms in our group, we are there for each other. And I love it. It's not only for my daughter. I'm selfish to say it's for me. I love these women. And I love SCSA. I love the coaches. My only fear, I hope you have the best intentions. I don't know anything about any of you guys. Your daughter's a very good soccer player. I know that. So all I'm saying is please keep these coaches happy. We have amazing coaches and they're walking away. They are sad. They weren't included in this math thing. They should have been talked to before any decisions were made. I love these coaches. They are here for our children. And this season has been the best season of my daughter's life. I've seen growth in her tremendously. And I want you guys to stay, but I just want you guys to tell us what you're wanting for SCSA. And I want to keep these coaches. That's my only concern. I want these coaches to stay.
Thank you, Risa. Hey, Risa, before you take off, can I tell you, thank you for sharing that. I honestly, I can tell you that I do have the best intentions, and Hold on, guys. Just let me talk to Risa for just a second. And I apologize for approaching you on the sideline like that. And I want to say thank you for you sharing it to these people tonight, and for, quite frankly, calling me out on it, because that was wrong. And I can admit when I'm wrong, and that was wrong, and I apologize. I shouldn't have done it.
Thank you.
Because you accused me during the whole election process of cheating, wrote a whole email to everybody, so I'd like to ask, is there some validity now? To the cheating that you accused me of? Because what it sounds like you were doing stuff you're accusing me of.
Oh.
I'm Eric Newton, by the way, ex-president, ex-alliance president. I just want to bring a little historical perspective for the room. For the 3 years that I was on the board, my son was an Alliance player. So 2 of the 3 years, I would have been disqualified. The part I don't understand is, with the whole Alliance, we pay our money into the Alliance. There is a rebate that goes back to the home club. That is to SCSA or Cutters. The minute that rebate is deposited into our accounts, that is a tweener player. They qualify as a home club SCSA member, and then they play the Alliance. That's the way it's always been. So when we deposit the rebate into our accounts for Sam Purdy to play for the last 6 years, he's an SCSA board member. He's an SCSA player. There was a precedence for this. All decisions were made that way. It makes 0 sense to remove him for the same thing that I served for 2 of my 3 years. It's precedent.
Yeah, any comments? Angie, Evan? Yeah, have a prez.
My only comment is that it goes back to the Alliance bylaws do not override the SCSA bylaws. Because the bylaws were not enforced in that capacity.
Because it makes sense not to.
And we're required to volunteer at every Alliance.
The requirement of Alliance families to volunteer at the tournaments will be something that will also be evaluated.
It's not the point.
My personal opinion on that is that they shouldn't be. If they're not, but again, there's just factors that come into that depend. I don't know how all that was set up, so.
I don't know if you want me to respond or if we can move on to the next question.
I'd love to hear this. Respond.
Well, I mean, I was standing in line, so I mean, there's that. But I just wanted to say thank you all for like being here in voluntary positions that everyone in this room should have been able to vote for, because we got several emails. So people that didn't vote, I don't understand how you missed that. But thank you for all that everyone has done, that people are doing. I have one question, because everyone keeps talking about all these coaches that are leaving. Have coaches resigned? And if so, how many coaches have resigned? Because everyone keeps acting like there's a mass exodus, and no one has spoken to confirm or deny that.
So Coach Paolo did not resign, but he got called to duty over in Germany, and so he is gone because of duty. So that had nothing to do with this. And then the only other coach that I've been made aware of, excuse me, is Laura Perry. Is the only other resignation.
Okay, thank you for confirming that, because that doesn't sound like a mass exodus. But also, my other comment is that everyone in this room has definitely said the exact same thing, which is that we're here for our kids. And everyone is also feeling like our club is in this awful position. I am begging of you to take all of this off of social media, because that is what is putting this club in a really crappy place right now, is all of the bantering and the fighting and the horrible things you guys are saying about people. And I'm begging that of you. We all have the same goal of being here. And to be fair, I've had people reach out asking, should I have my kid even play in rec, because I don't understand what's happening with your club right now. So I just beg of you to just think about what you are portraying to everyone else. That's all I'm saying. Like, regardless of your stance. Okay, I understand, but the nastiness on social media has to stop. Okay, all right.
I think you guys all know me. We've all met, had conversations. My name's Danny Hayes. I got 2 girls in the U18 program. Been here for 10 years. Former board member. And one thing that I will say, and I had a long, lengthy conversation with both Evan and Garrett last week, is when I ran for the board, I had a preconceived notion of what was going on, right? I was on the sidelines. I'm complaining about my U12 girls team, and they're just not playing to the level that I think they should be playing, right? So I'm going to get on the board and I'm going to change this. Now the difference was, I didn't walk in the door and throw a grenade. I walked in the door and started learning what this whole process looks like, and got down in the weeds of what Matt does and what the board does and what the coaches do and how much time they spend. And I quickly realized it's a lot bigger than my girls' U12 travel team, okay? So I understand some of their drive, although I believe a little ill-conceived, because we can all look around. Those trophies weren't given. Right? And I will tell you that those trophies have been cleaned up in the last 4 or 5 years, because they were all the way to the top and they were falling off. So there's a high level of soccer being played here. Is it perfect? Are there things that need to be improved? Absolutely. My concern is we walked in without betting, and I'm not saying anything that I didn't say to these 2 brothers. I said it directly to their face. That they walked in and threw a grenade, and now they want to remodel the house. Well, the house can't be remodeled because it's been blown up. Okay? So if we truly want, and this board truly cares about their kids, their own kids, and all of our kids, there's truly only one solution. And we had this conversation, and they asked me, Danny, how do we fix this? How do we put the genie back in the bottle? Because I truly believe that they regret what they did. and they don't know how to get out of it. Okay? So when I told them, I said, you know what, I'll think long and hard about it, and if I come up with a solution, I will contact you. Did I not say that? Well, I did think long and hard about it. And there is only one solution that ends this problem. And I told you that you probably wouldn't like my answer. But it's for this board to resign. It's truly the only way that this works, because no one is going to trust you at this point. And I don't say that with malintention. I'm not saying that because I dislike you. I don't know you personally, but I know how a 501c3 works, and I explained the only way to make things better after you've told the whole community that we had theft from inside, or implied, I shouldn't say you told that. But the only way to fix this, if you truly care about quickly rebuilding this and moving this forward, is to resign, and we have an election, and we redo this thing. Thank you.
So I'd like to return to the agenda again real quick. You had one more item left on it. Can we address that real quick before I continue? The pending litigation or litigation update? I'm just asking to return to the agenda.
There's a very quick update. We have no active litigation at this
Okay,
time.
thank you. The other thing is, as you just heard, you've got a lot of people who are asking you to resign. That's a decision that you guys need to make, and it's up to you. If you choose not to, I need to know that moving forward, you're going to act in an ethical manner. And we've had several things happen and that have come up tonight that would indicate that some of the actions have not been ethical, such as approaching the lady at the sideline, the sale of the house over there, that is not happening at this moment in time, I understand, but it's not ethical. And why you thought it would be okay to begin with is beyond me. And I'm not asking you to answer this question tonight, but to think long and hard about it and maybe answer it sometime in the near future. What are some things that you guys can do to make these individuals believe that moving forward, you will act in an ethical manner? Because like they've said before, we know you all care about your kids. We all care about our kids. But we need the club to be here moving forward, and the only way to do that is to make sure that we do it ethically. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Myron Vaughn. I believe I'm the assistant director of coaching here at the club. But there's a couple of really important items that I know for me and the coaches that we have to get answers for. And the one important one is for our friend. So we spoke in the coaches meeting, and I gave a direct question in regards to amending the email that you sent out that left extreme assumption and implications of theft or whatever anyone wanted to put on it about what happened with Matt Wilhoy. In that conversation, you transparently and we were very appreciative of it, said that there was a mistake in terms of the wording. I also asked multiple times to amend it because it's important. It's important to amend it. It's important that the things that go out, this is not the place to finally say sorry. This is not it. There are a lot of people around the state of Indiana. There are a lot of important people that are always asking questions, and that's fine. But the problem is when you leave words on an email that go to multiple hundreds and maybe thousands of people about someone that isn't accurate, it's unfair to them and it's slander. And we need to be accountable for the things that we say that's attached to SCSA. We don't believe any of it. If you decided to put those words on paper and then later admit that it were the wrong words, and I specifically asked you to amend it multiple times in that Zoom meeting, And there's been no progress towards that. We get an apology in this platform, in this room, but that's not good enough. It's not good enough for us, and it's damn sure not good enough for him, because now he's the one answering questions from people, asking him how much money he stole, asking him why haven't they seen him on the news. That's unfair. This, and I don't know how many of you know this, but all of that work that's done on the sewer system, Eric Nugent, thank you, because he put up out of his own pocket $8,000, if I'm not mistaken. And guess who else put up $8,000 out of their own pocket? Matt Wilhoit. So instead of mentioning that part of it in that email, the only thing that was mentioned were the things that you wanted to portray as reasons why he was gone. And we all know that those things aren't real. You can use black and white, you can go into a packet of paper that's called a contract and nitpick and find whatever you want on any one of us. But the problem is, this club isn't about what's on those pieces of paper. These people paid their fees, these people are here because of the people, because of what this club represents in the culture. And you cannot in the same breath say, we are making decisions to make this place better, and also get rid of someone who has been the biggest part of creating this culture. These people are here because of what SCSA is. And there's someone that has 20 years of experience and work in making SCSA what it is. And the disrespect to make a decision in a board to let him go without even taking the moment to talk to him, to tell him what it is you're about to do and why, or even ask a question of how you can reconcile the things that you see, is the biggest level of disrespect for someone who's given their life to this club that there is. And as someone mentioned before, as coaches, you will have no trust from us. Because how can we go about our business and doing the things we do for these kids, knowing that someone who has done everything and spent tens of thousands of dollars out of their own pocket can be thrown away the way that he was? We aren't. We don't. Yes, we give and we give and we give, but we don't do the things Matt Wilhoit did. So if we're not there, how vulnerable are we? So to, I believe it's Amanda, who was asking about how many coaches have left and wanting to make a point about how many have resigned. Guess what? No, there haven't been a lot of people who have resigned, but there is a fence, and there are a lot of us on one side of the fence that you won't be so happy about, Randy. And you need to understand that. Not because we don't want to be here, not because we don't love these kids, because that's the reason why we do this, but because we don't trust the people that we're going to have to work with every single day and have to trust in their decision making. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Because for over 10 years, I've worked with Matt and been the assistant director of coaching here at this club. And it's the best years of my life. But the reason I did it was because of the people. And the reason why I still am here is because of the people. But you know what else? The reason why I'm confused about what I want to do and whether I want to be here anymore is because of people. And you cannot ruin that for everyone. And it's not about a personal attack on you, it's the fact that you attacked the club and the culture of the club. That's the problem. And we have no idea of what's going on. We're coaches. We're a part of this. I'm sitting here looking at the board. We've got a player representative. We have a coach representative. That's very interesting because there are a lot of us coaches. Coaches, have any of you, not one of you, even been told about a coach representative, been asked who to represent you as on this board? Not one. We found out about this today. Today when we walked in this room. 5 minutes before this meeting started, I had a personal conversation with our director of coaching to ask, what is this coach's representative? Our interim director of coaching did not know. Did not know. Director of coaching. This is the problem. This is the problem. You're making decisions without speaking to anybody that operates this club on a daily basis. For 10 years, every single day in this club, helping run this club, there hasn't been a single conversation, not a word said to any of us, directors, about how to move forward. You say we want things to go as normal. Well, guess what normal is? Normal is us. Normal are the people who are here every single day. You have decided not to speak to us, not to ask us, not to inquire about what every day means. Because you've got a plan, you've got an agenda, and that is what you're focused on. We are here because of the kids, we're here because of these families. But you do not respect that, and that's the problem we as coaches have. Because we are here because of the people in this club. But the people in this club, as you can hear, are fed up. That's a problem. And I'm sitting here on behalf of the Alliance as well, as a part of the Alliance, and I can tell you right now, no matter what you want to say that is in black and white or on a piece of paper, none of that matters in regards to what Alliance and what these players have meant to Alliance, what Alliance means to our club. And as a matter of fact, you shouldn't even have looked at a piece of paper to find out whether you should have even taken action or even thought about to do something against Alliance. Because the proof is in what's here. We have boys back here who have been through this club from day one and are in a position right now to compete at the national level because they came through SCSA. They didn't just happen to show up at our club at Alliance. They came through SCSA. So all of these improvements you want to make and all of these things that you want to be better, guess what? It was really freaking good before you stepped on the board. So whatever it is that you think is going to be better, please tell us, please show us that pathway of what's going to be better. Because you let go of someone who not only brought this club to this point, but was pushing it to go even higher, and is the reason why we have teams representing our club, our community, and our people across this country. And he's the reason for it. And he's not here. So you have to explain that. You have to explain to the people who think that he stole money why you left it open, why you didn't just say what it was, why you didn't apologize in a forum that everyone can see and not just in a room of hundreds of people. Those are the explanations that need to be had, and that's fair to the people involved. We as coaches right now, I can promise you, Amanda, that do not get comfortable, because we aren't happy either. And as Danny said, the only option is to resign in terms of what people want, but from us coaches, there's got to be a whole hell of a lot more than that for us to be able to stick around and deal with people that don't understand us.
Respectfully, I'd like to respond, Myron. Thank you. Again, respectfully in response, you stated that for 10 years, coaches haven't had an idea of what's going on. That is exactly what you said.
That's not what he said.
Okay, well, if I misheard, that's on me, and that's okay, okay? I am in one of these positions that you pointed out. I'm going to answer this question, if that's okay. It's my understanding that this position and the coach's advocate position have been put into place so that we don't have this situation a year from now. I understand that, and I understand that.
Representing you, that you can at least have a say in whether they represent you?
I think that this is a step. This is a act to try and give coaches and players a voice.
I think it's great.
Could you say that again?
I think this is great, is what I'm saying, that we have the people that represent us. The problem is the people representing us none of the people they represent even know.
It hasn't begun.
This is my point.
What are you doing up there?
We're trying.
You're sitting up there.
This is a step to try and give you what you say you're asking for.
This is my point. That's what I'm saying. There's no conversation about what you're going to say, because we won't be in all these board meetings. So you're going to represent us. So if what you say in these board meetings moving forward and you haven't spoken to any of these people about it, how is it representation?
I was a member of this club when I was in high school, when this was in its first 2 or 3 years. Great, good. I'd love to reconnect with you. I've had 2 children that one is involved, one has gone through. So when you say, I don't know who you are, listen, there are people in here who haven't been to a board meeting before either, I would imagine. So we're here tonight, okay? Sir, I'm sorry. I don't know you and I'm not going to make any presumptions about you. My entire professional career is about advocating for students. It's what I do for a living. And it's what I'm passionate and love. And that's why I was asked. I'm not representing the coaches. I am not here to represent the coaches. I'm a player advocate. So please respectfully.
The problem wasn't about the individual people. We're not attacking you. We're not attacking you guys. The fact is that there was no conversation with the people they represent about who represents us. That's the problem. It's not about.
How about just an acknowledgement that there is an attempt to.
Okay, hey, so I'm staying here for a minute. I'm just gonna talk. My name's Ashley Fugit. I have a son that plays here at the SCSA. I had a stepdaughter named Sophia Fugit that used to play here. She plays at Westfield now. Anyway, I did want to start to say thank you. I'm sure this is very hard for all of you to sit here and be, because I know this is very like pitchfork and torch like I get it, but I also get why all these parents are so pissed, because you know this is for our children, man. Like you gotta think like this is our heart, you know. And I was nervous when I saw how the firing thing was handled in the first place. It made me very nervous, and I felt like, oh, there's probably something on the side going on here. But my main question, honestly, because I've worked in a lab, I ran a lab, I know all about how SOPs are used to people's advantage and not used whenever you don't want to use them. So my question is, do you have a policy to go over these SOPs and the practicalities of what's in them and the bylaws? And do you have a policy of like who changes them? Is there somebody that reviews them after somebody changes them and accepts them? Does the board accept it? What's the process?
All I can really tell you is my experience in the 2 years on the board when the SOPs have been brought up.
I think that's what's making these people mad, is you're using the SOP to your advantage. It only matters if it's to your advantage. But then like you can fire somebody because, oh, it was a breach of contract. But then like, it just doesn't make any sense. You can't punish one person for the same thing. Like you have to treat everyone the same. You can't follow the SOP. If you're gonna have an SOP, you follow it. That's just how it goes.
I understand
You don't
that.
pick and choose what pieces you want to use. I'm not trying to be mean. I really do want to know, do you have a policy for it?
So I don't.
And the bylaws.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that decisions have been made.
There's no policy for who writes your SOPs, and there's no review of them.
Okay.
Or bylaws. That's just I'm not trying to be, I'm just curious, okay? Because that will help us to get better. I love change. I hope that this will be a good thing. I really do.
I'm not familiar with any SOP that the club has that was not written by Jeff Purdy. So he typically wrote the SOPs.
So is there a plan to review all of those, since like, I feel like people got fired, like they didn't even realize it was coming, like kind of thing. Like it was like, let's see, what can we find here? That's what that's just what it looks like, I'll be honest. I didn't know Matt, I didn't know Jeff. I'm just telling you what it
reviewed
looks
from
like.
time to time. A great example
How
is
do you know this? You just go to the board.
because I looked at the SOPs on the website. before they were taken off because I didn't think.
Why were they taken off, by the way?
I didn't think it was appropriate to have SOPs on the website that
And
were
how are people supposed
incorrect
to know
or-
what your SOPs are?
It's a very.
It's called standard operation procedure for a reason.
Yeah, I had, I agree. I had problems with the SOPs that were in place during this last election, that we have an SOP for the elections. It states that the elections are 1 week, and this election was 2 weeks.
Well, okay, that was just my question. I'm done. I just wanted to see if there was any kind of policy for that. And if not, maybe it's something you guys should look into. Like, could be another improvement you could make. You know, I mean, as far as, and they definitely need to be reviewed. Somebody should just be writing them like, this is what we're doing. Like, they need to be reviewed and approved by the board.
I absolutely agree, and given the chance, I would love to do that.
Okay.
I would like to say though that during my time on the board, when SOPs were written or adjusted, there was a vote on the SOPs. So yes, but there's a big difference in modifying and creating SOPs than the bylaws. So just to clarify that.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I am a part of the Academy program. My daughter is a part of, I guess I don't play Academy soccer. My daughter is a part of the Academy program. And throughout this entire meeting, it's been a lot of, what do you know about this? I know the answer to this bylaw, but I don't know this bylaw. I know this rule, but I don't know this rule. What's your 90-day plan? Essentially, SCSA is a part of our community. And we have a pretty large, this is a very small sampling of our community support. Very small. And I know you haven't seen the full ramifications of what that could look like 12 months from now, 5 years from now. It's going to be drastic. Even if all the things are done well, it's going to be drastic. You made a lot of decisions in the first 45 days. What's the 90-day plan? What's the 1-year plan?
No, Angie, let's hear.
I want to give them a beat. Take a beat. What's the 90-day plan? We did a 45-day plan. We saw that one. What's the 90-day plan? What's the 1-year plan? I just need I gotta have a good something to back my next decision for my family, for my community involvement, and where I'm going to spend a majority of my time.
And from my standpoint, I think the most critical thing is getting a permanent DOC in place and initiating that search and making sure we have the right person for that. I think that takes absolute priority over anything and everything else. So maybe that's gonna take 90 days, I don't know, but I mean, I don't think it's fair to say there's no plan. I mean, I'm not prepared to say on behalf of the board 100% what specifics are. I'm just not prepared to answer that tonight.
So, as someone who's been a part of youth sports programs board, I've sat in your position. It's hard. You gotta have a 90-day plan, especially when you're walking into these meetings. When you know you've gotta call security for a 3-hour meeting, you have to have a plan. So I'm going to strongly encourage you, if you don't choose to follow some suggestions of others here at this meeting, you've gotta get a 90-day plan and a 1-year plan, and you've gotta get it out. Like, now.
I've jotted down a lot of notes of a 90-day plan. I haven't brought it to the board's attention. We had what we thought was a great 90-day plan, and then over the last month, we realized that we needed to adjust that drastically, as you can imagine. So my personal 90-day plan was to stabilize, make sure everything is, stabilize the concern and the questions of members, and then get a permanent DOC in place, and then start to improve upon everything. No, that's just saying that. Yeah, that's why I prefaced it by saying that's just what I had written down. We haven't discussed my plans as a board.
Okay. I first want to thank you for one thing, not buying that house and selling it to the club. Now, I want to confirm, though, we are not taking on any debt related to those activities.
There is no closing of debts of any kind that is scheduled or planned to be scheduled.
No new loans, nothing getting rolled in?
No new loans. There is a chance that we will refinance our current loan. We have a current loan on this building, and it switches from a fixed rate to a variable rate in July. And so that's the time that you typically refinance those so you can get it back to a fixed rate for a long period of time. So that will happen at some point, but that's the only thing that's on the docket.
Can you speak to the timeline of the home purchase? Because it was very interesting. Something was handed out to me just a little bit ago that talked about when the votes came in and you became members of the board, within 2 days, you purchased this home. And a month later, there's a vote within the board to actually purchase this from you for a $95,000 gain. So were you going to actually make profit off of that sale? Because when I looked online, it's pretty clear that says board members cannot use their power for financial gain to make decisions against a club.
That is true, and that is one of the many contingencies that were a part of the purchase agreement. And so
were you going to give money to the? Was that 95,000 going to roll back? I guess I'm confused. Like you were making money. Were you going to donate the 95,000 to the club?
No, it would have never gone through like that. It would have been at the purchase price of when I purchased it. Meaning the bank, bank loan, the bank loan. That's what you're talking about. It was going to be for $405,000.
The SCSA bank loan?
That is correct.
Then what was the need for $500,000?
That was
part of that.
That was the initial purchase agreement. That was not any final number.
Why was it even brought up?
On December 16th, yes.
For 500. For 500.
It was a move to move into.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Did
He
you sign
just
it?
said yes. He just answered yes, but it was based off of multiple contingencies and things that had to fall into place to happen. The dollar amount was a high estimate. It was $500,000, but that was not.
So you bought it for 4 or 5 and PO for 500 within a month?
It was based. Okay, guys, listen. It didn't happen. It wasn't
No,
going to happen.
explain it
for any
though.
kind of
Explain it
profit.
all though.
Explain it.
Yeah.
I can explain it.
Explain it all. Explain it as if we're
Because
idiots.
I'm the one who came up with the number, so if,
Yeah.
So I would love the chance to explain it.
Okay.
I bought the house. We had I can't remember when the exact date of a sale was, but it was November the 19th.
December 12th.
You
I know
bought
I
it
closed on
November
it.
19th, pending sale for $429, and then later you closed on it on December 12th for $405,000 for a cash offer. I'm not really great with numbers, and I'm confused. Oh yeah, that's what they say, no offers. So I was just, when I came in, that was my big question, is we don't have issues with parking. They did a great job with parking, paving. We've got great fields. For tournaments, we have across the street we can park. I've never seen any issues there. I was really confused at why we needed that property, and that was a pretty big premium to pay for that.
Yeah, so the way that I came up with that number, as I explained in the board meeting, was I had purchased a house for $405, and then there was going to be, please let me finish before booing, if you don't mind. There was going to be closing costs and appraisals. We had to get all sorts of appraisals on it, and all of these things. So I factored that in as things that I would cover. The sale didn't happen, but the appraisals did happen, and I did cover those. So the club was not out any money at all as a part of any of this. That was part of the agreements. And then I factored in what was the number that made it so that after the realtor fees and all the real estate taxes and stuff, I would come out even. And my personal thought was to sell the house back. This is my original personal thought, was to sell the house back at zero profit. Now, it doesn't look like that on the purchase agreement, Danny. I know it doesn't, but that was where I was coming with those numbers. I wanted to make sure I wasn't not in a financial position to donate a house like that.
So from a timing perspective, I mean, you had just became a board member and made a purchase. Was that, I mean, did you have an intent or talk to the board beforehand? I guess you weren't the board technically at that point before, I guess for 2 days to actually do this, because personally I wouldn't front a cash offer of $400,000 to a property that has really no value. I don't expect you to move into it. I don't know what you'd use it for. I guess you can rent it maybe. During tournaments, people might want to stay there, I guess, but that's a pretty heavily financial, commitment you made without any idea of what was going to happen to the property. So I'm kind of curious, why did you buy that property?
Well, I'll answer your question that there were no board discussions about that prior to December 16th. So this was not, I knew nothing about it before then. And from my perspective, again, that was one of the big contingencies, was that there would be no profit at the end of it. So
That's a pretty quick decision.
I did. It was quick, and my apologies. It was based on the contingencies, and I knew it would not move forward without those contingencies being met.
But you still voted for it.
I'm sorry?
You still voted and signed up on it. Even with the contingencies.
But the vote was based on the contingencies. Everything was based, it was all a part of it. It was all a part of it.
Yeah, what were the contingencies?
I'm sorry? What? I have no idea who Garrett's realtor is.
Yes, we can,
I'm
because
sure
it's
you
public
can.
record, and we have a right to get a copy of all of it.
I can do my best to
No,
provide
you
that.
can get it. As members, we have a right to it. All the
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Dan. Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure the rest of our group has time for questions. But I do have just one more question around this decision. So that board was the 3 of you that made the approval for that, and your brother is part of the board. So personally, if you have a personal relationship for that large of a financial gain, shouldn't he recuse himself from voting?
Yes. Yes. So when Evan and I met with Danny, he explained that, and in hindsight, we both, not just Evan, we both should have recused ourselves from that vote. Yes.
It wasn't obvious.
So real quick, piggybacking off of that, as a parent, the email that I received about Matt Wilhoit used the phrase, "because this involves personnel, contract matters, and in accordance with nonprofit governance." I'm wondering if you are familiar or were familiar with the nonprofit governance regarding 2 brothers, not only being brothers, but so like-minded that you've copy and pasted bios on your running election. But the governance, I just lost it, that states, sorry guys, I had it up and then I moved my finger. According to related party and self-dealing standards, a transaction in which a director financially benefits and a related director, a brother, including an immediate family member, participates in deliberation or voting is not considered an arm's length transaction under nonprofit governance standards. Approval by interested or related parties does not satisfy fiduciary safeguards and exposes both the organization and individual directors to potential liability under Indiana law. Do you guys have a response to that?
I was not familiar with that provision. All I can say is that the house is not being purchased, and so this will not be an issue.
So why are we picking and choosing which nonprofit governances we observe when it's related to Matt Wilhoit and related to 2 brothers voting on financial issues on a board of 3 currently?
It's pretty clear that, there's a lot of mistrust, and I think for the the health of the organization, that we gotta have the trust come together and have the transparency. My background's accounting and finance with a public company, and I deal with dispute resolution every now and then. And one thing that we go through is we'll often hire independent third parties, and it's pretty clear for the success of the organization, we got to make sure the coaches are on board, right? So a thought that I have, right, is I know there's mistrust with the board currently, and there's a lot of passion for Matt. Why don't we look at potentially hiring a third party, a public accounting firm or a law firm, and enter into an agreement such as agreed upon procedures, where there's a few questions that are asked and they independently answer those questions, and then we as members of this community can see what those answers are. I think that would go a long way in beginning the process of helping to heal the trust that we need for this organization to be successful. You know, as I look at it, at the end of the day, and I think we've said that here numerous times, right? At the end of the day, this is a soccer club, and the reason we are here is for the best of the kids, right? It's on the homepage, right? And we need to make all of our decisions and actions with the mindset that we're acting in the best interest of the kids. Now, like I said, you know, public corporation, accounting, finance, we have to deal with SOX compliance a lot, right, as a public company, and I personally don't like it. But I do understand that why it's necessary and why it's important, right? We got to operate under a set of rules. And I would say for this nonprofit as well, you know, I think your guiding light, I think your rule book, whether you like it or not, are the bylaws of the organization, right? And if we don't follow those bylaws, what can happen is chaos can absolutely ensue, and it puts the entire nonprofit at risk. And I think us as members who vote the board, all we ask is that you keep in mind the best interest of the kids, first and foremost, right? And then second, as we make decisions, to be sure that we follow the bylaws, even though how unpopular it might be. I'm not sure, I'm not as familiar with the bylaws. I'm not as familiar with the bylaws regarding the Alliance Association versus the SCSA Association. But unfortunately, if that bylaw says you have to have a kid who's a member of SCSA, I think you got to make the tough decision and follow the bylaws. You guys aren't here to decide what bylaws you should follow and what bylaws you shouldn't follow. So that's really my ask as a parent, and I don't doubt that. I think the prior board members and the current board members, I truly believe that folks have the best interests of the kids in mind. So I ask that we just keep that in mind, and then we can look as we go forward as potentially putting in some other, I guess, controls within the organization to make sure that the decisions are made for best of the organization. A perfect example is, once again, talking from my accounting and finance world, right? You know, engagement partners, they can only serve on and off for 5 years. 5 years, they have to roll off, and they have to have a 5-year quiet period. And the reason that's there, right, is it fosters a fresh set of ideas from the new partner. It prevents complacency setting in, and it prevents the risk of relationships getting so strong that we make some decisions that aren't in the best of the firm. So I think there's a lot of things that we can look at, and hopefully there are some good things that come from this, right? I know this is tough, and I thank you guys for spending your time, but I just ask that all decisions are made in the light of the kids and the best interest of the kids. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Sir, who just spoke, I would love if you wouldn't mind sending an email to us with your suggestions. It would be...
All it will do is you ask the questions, right, to an independent firm, and they answer the questions. They don't give any conclusion. A perfect example would be like, you know, please review these expense reports. Is there appropriate documentation? Have you identified any personal expenses, right? And this third party, they'll look at it and they'll come back and say, here's what we found, and here's the dollar amount that we found. And that provides the transparency for us as an organization, for the coaches, for them to make their own decision on what's right and what's wrong. I know we went through that with the Center Grove School Board recently, 2 years ago, with the prior director of the school, right? They went through an independent state audit, and they released all the findings, and I think we owe it to the members to have the transparency and to help rebuild the trust. So I think that's something that we should strongly consider.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sean Wade. I've been here for 23 years, I think. I've got 3 kids I've played. I've coached here. I've watched this building built. My husband was part of it to build this building. I've seen 4 DOCs come through here. At the end of the day, it's soccer. These kids want to play soccer. Our kids, few of them probably are going to be up on this, major platform. That's not the point of these clubs as much as everybody wants to make them the point. The point is the fact that I have a 28-year-old son that just got married 3 years ago, I think it was, and 5 out of his 7 were all soccer players that he played with that were in his party from the time he was 5 years old. And we all want to get up here and we want to do better and this and that. I've watched, I can name board members upon board members, and there's been, and it's not an easy job. My husband did it, he tried to do it, he tried to help with the maintenance, he tried to figure out where we could do irrigation, couldn't work. He spent all his time doing that for free, walked in, waited on there, and that board at the time was like, well, I think we're going to go do it for now. He picked him up and walked right back out. We're still here. I live 5 minutes from here. There's no reason for me to, my son did play for Westside, but that was a difference because of numbers. I have another one who coaches now. So you talk about coaches on the fence. This kid played soccer since he's been, 4 or 5? He's played for Trotter, he's played, all that stuff. He's a coach now. He called me. He's never seen all the political stuff that's gone through all this. He called me after the coaches meeting and couldn't believe it. And we had to talk him down because it's not the first time this has happened. Not the last time. I hope it will be, but we all know that things come in. We all see things, want things different. I've known, obviously, Matt for years, agreed with him, haven't agreed with him, that kind of stuff. It blows my mind, though, with all this stuff, that we want to come in, and there was a back door when somebody else was elected in, and backdoored, and there was bylaws. But at the end of the day, it's all these kids wanting to play soccer and wanting to have these good coaches, and I know that we have very good coaches here. And I have connections to Carmel. I played for Carmel, went to Carmel. So I've been around soccer for a long time, and I've seen this stuff. But it's just so hard for me to sit here and tell my kids, because I'm going to tell you, on tryout nights, this happened to me 2-3 times. I had my little boys come from practice, from tryouts, all the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff that was going on. And let me guess, this team and parents went here, this team and parents went here, and they club jumped because somebody on the board made them mad, somebody on this made them mad. And guess what? I had a little boy crying because his friends weren't there to play soccer with him anymore because their parents decided that it was more important to chase or whatever. The best part of it was when my son was a freshman in college after they had won the state, and there was 5 of them. They all ended up at Marion College, and they all were playing. And my husband just laughed because he told some of the fathers that were out there, he said, it's kind of funny, all the money and all the time that they spent going from one club to the other. Freshman year of college, our sons are sitting there playing on the same field for a game that they loved. And all those boys had enough, and they quit, and they all went to somewhere else. They were done after that year. So we lose sight of what this is. And Well, I'm gonna tell you that, you know, I don't understand why we had to go so postal, yeah, if you want to call it that, on something that could have been discussed, could have been, and why we all needed to jump on it. If you had great ideas, that's great. You have great ideas, but let's not find ways to get rid of somebody here, somebody there, so we can get our agenda on the thing. That's the whole point of like, what are we doing? I mean, yeah.
So I just want to, I think we've all been sitting here for about 2 hours of change, and it's been great listening to every perspective. I'm just going to simplify to 3 themes I've heard, no matter which side of the camp you are. Number 1 is everybody's here for the parents, for the kids in soccer. That's clear. I don't care if you like the board or not. Okay? Number 2, I've heard a lot of clear examples of conflict of interest. Okay? Clear. Whether it be, hey, Jen, welcome, we love you, but we hear you and Garrett have a deal going on. I don't know. The house situation. There's so many examples of conflict of interest and integrity that's getting judged here, and that's a bad thing. And we all know when we are here to build trust, trust is not easy to build. Once it's broken, it's done. So now that you've heard all these examples and all these stories and questions about conflict of interest and integrity, do you really see a path forward you can rebuild that for the purpose of the kids and this program? That's a question to Garrett, Angie, and Evan, who I'd love to hear from, because I don't think we've had a chance to yet. So each one of you,
We've got a lot to
think.
thank. Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
and thank you, and thanks everybody that spoke. For me personally, I'm but one part of this wheel, a full wheel for, I think, well, we still have one open position, but as far as I know, this is the first time in the club's history that we actually are attempting to have a full board. We have, it should be a 7-person board. There should be 5 elected positions and 2 appointed positions. We've appointed the 2 positions. We have to figure out what to do with the 7th position. It's in the bylaws. I'm a literal person. All I did was come in, do my best. I'm not an attorney. This is my first board position, but I do care about the club. That's why I wanted to do this. We looked at the bylaws and I took them literally. I didn't write them, but something about this document has stood for 40 years and no one's changed it. No one's changed these bylaws. Now, whether or not previous boards had observed them and respected them and followed them, I don't know, but those weren't boards that I was a part of. So for my part on the board, I wanted to go by the bylaws and I leaned on them because I'm just learning. So if I did find something even early, even in the first week, that I saw that conflicted with our bylaws, I brought it up. With regard to employees and past employees and terminating employees, I'm literal. I look at contracts. If there's breaches in contracts, it's a problem for me, both in this position, in the business world, in the real world, where we're actually paid for our time. Breaches in contract are a problem for me. So I'm just a literal guy. I hope there's a path forward. I believe there's a path forward. I know there's a lot of positive that can come out of this room because we're putting ourselves before you to hear your concerns, and we're putting ourselves before you to learn from you. This is an educational experience, not just a flogging, not just a public flogging. It's an educational experience. We had private meetings with some of the, I think, in my opinion, from who I've spoken to, some of the most respected people in this soccer community in the state. We had Danny come, we had some very large donors come and speak with us, and we all left on very good terms, knowing that the new board has maybe a different tone, definitely a different cadence, and they're maybe a bit too aggressive, but they had goals, and they took a literal view of the bylaws, and they did their best to really respect that document. That's my personal opinion. I hope I can continue to do so. If you give me time, I think you would realize that it's not a personal vendetta against anyone. It's just a respect for the document that I think has served the club extremely well. Anyways, that's my point, or that's my opinion to
So,
kind of go on
Angie
that.
and Garrett, how are you going to resolve or move forward on this integrity and conflict of interest? Because that's the themes you're hearing.
So for me personally, I think that in some instances, just as he said, sorry, I'm just trying to choose my words properly. 100%, same way. When you're making decisions, for me, decisions are based off of facts and things that you find and black and white documents. And for me, my contribution to any decision that has been made in my entire tenure on the board has been based off of just that. It's not based off of my feelings. It's not based off of even my opinions on things. It's fact. And there have been some decisions that have been very hard to make because of feelings and opinions maybe didn't completely align with the facts, and I side to the facts. And I'm talking about my entire tenure. I'm not talking about any particular decision. I'm just saying in my tenure, that's my guide. As far as, looking at, as you said, conflict of interests, I'm not really sure. I mean, I would have to really kind of take a step back and think of what conflicts exist and how that can be resolved. A couple things have been said that I'm not aware of issue. I mean, there've been some things implied that I'm not aware is an issue. But I think for me, that's, I can't black and white answer that because this has obviously been a lot of information and a lot of it needs to be digested. Just as he said, we're here to listen. And we'll kind of take it from there. And I don't know if that's what you want to hear, but when it comes to, anything, and I mean, I'm like that in my professional life with my job. You make decisions based off of facts. You share facts. You talk about facts, and that's the approach that I take.
And the reason why I ask that question is we always focus on what's the problem when you're here to solve. That's the problem we're solving. So that's got to be your priority when you leave here and say, what did you hear? And what's the clear problems? And two of them are very important, right? And then how do you get around that? So I know my friend, Mr. Fox.
Sorry, let me answer your question really quickly. Your question was with response to conflict of interest. Do you see a path forward?
With that
yes.
integrity, because it's the coaches' integrity. You're not going to be able to attract people. Let's be clear if they leave.
Exactly. Coming into this meeting, I thought there was a very clear path forward. Hearing everyone's viewpoints tonight and all of your questions and all of the conflicts laid out, conflicts of interest. Most of them, unfortunately, are on my shoulders, and I take full responsibility for that. I'm not sitting here as someone who claims to.
This feeling when you went on everyone's team snap and put yourself in every team's thing.
Oh my God!
Not everyone.
I'm not pleading ignorance. I'm not pleading ignorance at all. I'm saying I understand your frustrations. I've understood everyone's frustrations in this room, and I am nothing but I am nothing if not for accountable and pragmatic. I know when situations are good, and I know when situations are bad. And let me tell you from the heart, I don't know if I do see a path forward, but I would like the opportunity to move forward. But I also understand that the trust is very difficult to grow and very easily broken. And if at all possible, I would like to go forward from this meeting and take a little bit of time just to make sure things are in place if need be, and then move forward from there. That's the most honest answer I can give you.
Garrett, Angie, Evan, my name's Matt Fox. Kids that played here and still play in the club. I want to give you some advice. I've served on a number of boards over the last 30 years. And, you talk about accountability. The ethical breach of the real estate transaction is such a signal of your integrity, all three of yours integrity. It's so out of the norm. I just want to give you some perspective. It is so out of the norm of any nonprofit board that you can't recover from that. It's such a telling sign of what's inside you and how you direct the club in regard to the guiding light. You have to resign. That's all I have to say. I'll be brief.
Let me, if I may, could I ask you a question? Could I ask you a question? If the script were flipped, and instead of signing a purchase agreement for $500,000 at that December 16th meeting, if I would have bought the house just like I did, knowing full well that the club is in dire need of this land and that it's perfect for the club, if I would have bought the house with a cash offer of $405,000 of my own dollars and donated it to the club, would that have been different?
It's really funny, Garrett. Hey, Garrett, it's really funny that you mentioned that, because I happen to own, up until last year, the property 2 properties away, the little gray house.
Yeah.
We sold that. We sold it for $225,000. It's public record or whatever. We talked about the club buying that. They didn't have the money. So, and this was before your time on the board. I don't want to get into it, but to answer your question, the donation, that's a whole different subject, but it's the vote, the 3 of yours vote. That is what is so abhorrent that I just can't get over it. It stinks. It didn't even pass the smell test. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hi, my name is Cooper Worley. I'm here representing the whole Alliance team, 2008. I'm just here to make a statement about where we are and where we come. All of us have been homegrown here since we were 5, and we've had great accomplishments. I don't know if you can see, but we have 2 state banners in the back of the building right there. We went back to back in 2024 and 2025, and we've accomplished great things at the national level, and we are continuing to do so this late January. What's so, there's more Alliance teams in this program that have become great because we've set an example, we set the bar for them. People and players want to come in here because they feel trusted that the people above them are what's making them great. We as a team have helped so many individuals and have helped with the top soccer program, and we still wish for that to continue, like Charter said. And overall, I just want to say, since the Alliance programs and SCSA are separate now, this includes the bylaws, is this our home? Where do we go from here?
Good question, good.
Absolutely is. I see no reason that the connection through the partnership with Alliance and SCSA can't 100% still be there. The only reason the decision that we made was because of the black and white bylaws, and there was no intention whatsoever for that to affect the players, the feelings of the connection.
But is there any way that you...
Why is the Alliance not on the list? Did you consult anybody before you did it?
Did you have a follow-up question?
Cooper, ask who they consulted.
Right there.
Ask who
Did
they
you?
consulted to do
I think I
this.
heard from someone in the middle. Do we have the power to change the bylaws?
Who did they consult
So
before
let me
they
get this
made
straight.
decision?
After this evening, you're asking this board to change the bylaws.
No.
Okay, I think we can disregard that. I think we can disregard that. As it pertains to the Alliance program. Excuse me. I got you. gotcha. I wasn't planning on speaking to students tonight. I thought we were going to speak to parents, but I will tell you guys, nothing in any of our votes was meant to affect the Alliance program as it stands. We didn't affect your playing time here. We expect you to still split time and train here on your beautiful new field. We expect you to still use Cutter's players and still can join with them so you can follow the IHSAA rules. We didn't change anything to your program. There was nothing changed to the Alliance program. So I know that if you just listened to what you saw on Facebook, you would be worried about the Alliance program. But none of that was true. The only thing we did was
Our teams had practices canceled.
we didn't cancel any of your practices.
Why were our coaches not allowed to come to the field and play? We had practices scheduled here that got canceled.
I have no idea. I have no idea why their practices should have been canceled. No idea. And let me say this. Are you the guys going to Arizona? One thing I really do hope, I really hope we haven't been too much of a distraction to you. Because there's been a lot going on to get your minds off of that. So if we were a part of distracting you over Christmas break when you should have been thinking about this upcoming tournament for that, I do apologize. I hope you guys do great.
Thank you.
Good job, boys. Who's got more? Anybody got more? You got more? Let them fly. They're out to it. Yep, ask it.
I just got like one final question. Should we just take our banners then if we're just not going to associate them? I mean, we were the first team to go back to back. That's something the club's never seen, and that popularized SCSA and Alliance so much. So if we're not together, should we just leave, like, just be done?
No, I don't think you should.
That's all I have to say, and I think that's all we have to say as a group.
Thanks for coming up, guys.
Yeah, hi. My name is Anthony Petralia. You talked to my wife a little bit ago. I'm here as an Alliance parent because when we got that email mid-December, right around Christmas, we were just in shock. So I'm here as an Alliance parent now, but I've had two sons go through this. One now is a sophomore in college. He started rec. He went through Mark at the academy. Cody coached Noah for years. One of my younger son left here, went to play at a club up north, has come back. The only reason he had the opportunity to play up north is because he learned from the coaches over there how to play soccer. So the Alliance program that we're discussing here today, I just want to know, the three of you that are new to the board, when you ran for your position, you had to think, what are your aspirations for a soccer player coming out of SCSA? From the very beginning, it had always been the drive, the goal for all the kids to play on the Alliance and travel across the state, travel across the country, representing SCSA. It wasn't representing the Alliance. They all came from here, as we said. So what are your aspirations for kids that are starting out? I mean, did you just, I mean, is rec the lo and behold, the final, limit of where you want to see these kids go? I think everybody, all the parents from the Alliance teams that came here today were just very scared of where the future of the Alliance program was going. Now, you have the upper elite kids on the Alliance team. If people felt that there was no future there, you're going to start losing all of those players. And there's no way you're going to sell this organization as just being a rec club. Financially, you're not going to bring in enough money. this is an aspirational goal for a lot of these kids to be on the Alliance team. And we just felt completely cut out. So that is my question is, what is your aspirations for a soccer player here at SCSA? And finally, we would, as a parent group, really appreciate if you would allow Ryan to speak more, because I think Ryan represents all of these parents here more than anybody new on board. Thank you.
Who did you want? I'm sorry. Who? I'm not one of the new members, but I'm assuming you're referring to me as well. I think that the Alliance is a fantastic program. I think it's an amazing program. I think it's an incredible partnership. I never had any desire to dissolve it or end the partnership or anything of that nature. So if you're just asking me personally, I have kids in this program. Absolutely, I would love to see if that's my children's desire. It wasn't my oldest desire, but I have 2 more kids coming through. It may be their desire. So I want it to be stronger than ever. I want it to be secure. I want it to be protected. I want all of those things. And there's a concerted effort between us and Cutters to make that happen. So that's my aspirations personally.
Yeah, the Alliance pathway is still the exact same Alliance pathway. We have made no changes to affect that pathway. Well, I believe that leaving our meeting with the current Alliance DOC and every management position from Cutters, we did discuss that historically, and I think it's in the Alliance bylaws. I haven't studied the Alliance bylaws, but it says that the president of the board from SCSA is supposed to serve on the Alliance, and Angie had said that she would do so. So we still have a voice on that board. We've met with their DOC. We have a great relationship. We had a great meeting. We made a statement just to try to quell some rumors that were going around that we had an axe out for the Alliance program, which was never the case. Never the case. Questions were asked because the relationship was so gray that we didn't know how it worked. And those questions turned into, we want to shut down the Alliance program. So that was never the case. I hope that every player that comes here still has that as the goal, to end up playing with Alliance and to end up hanging banners in here. But we have no goal to change the Alliance program or its relationship or how significant the SCSA partnership is in keeping that Alliance program running. We're crucial to that program, equally with Cutters, and they see it as important as we do. So there is nothing we're after that is going to change the Alliance program and just the pathway for an SCSA player to hopefully grow their skills to be on one of those teams. It's kind of the elite goal for an SCSA player. Sorry, Dan. For a non-parent on our board. I know that I think that the coach's representative does not have to be a parent of a player. It can be a parent of a player, but it does not have to be a parent of a player here. I thought about that, Danny. I thought about that. In my opinion, Jeff understands this program very well. In my opinion, it was unfair to take a coach's representative position and not pick, with my vote for that appointment, not pick someone that I think would be the best person to represent the coaches of the club.
Or what about the players?
That's my honest opinion. And I'm but one vote, but that's my opinion on that. Yeah, I had an out. You're right. That would have been an olive branch. Yeah, I know, Danny. I understand you, Danny. I get what you're saying. And in my opinion, it still wouldn't have been the right. It still wouldn't have, I had to make up my own opinion for who I would support as the coach's representative. But very fair. In my opinion, the best coaching representative would have been someone involved in the coaching of the club. And that's why I chose Carlos.
The four of us voted, Danny, the four of us voted on the coaching representative. But that was 3-1.
Of course.
Danny. We did try through Ryan, he helped us. We tried to meet with Jeff and he very politely declined to meet with us earlier this week. Not in those words, no. I get it. No, I get it. That's a fair statement.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Jeff Purdy, former board member. Thank you all for coming. I want to say first, I'm so disgusted that we had a member come up here and talk about being a coach on the sideline to be coerced out of being in the election. I'm shaking. That makes me so angry. And Risa, if anyone tries to retaliate, you let me know. All right? Second, the day after Matt was fired, I got a call from a coach who's had an amazing impact on my son's life. He said, I'm done. The next day, I got a call from another coach. He said, what's going on? I think I'm done. I said, can you give Brian and I a month to get this right? I'm going to ask each of you individually to make this right now, so we can keep this amazing coaching staff. Evan, will you step down tonight?
I need to sleep on it. I'm not making any decision this week.
That's a no. Angie, will you step down tonight? Let Ryan and I fix this. We'll clean it up. Will you step down, Angie?
Step down. Step down.
Can I make a honest response to this?
That's all I'm gonna ask for, yes.
Yes.
I need some time to think about it because can you please just let me respond? I was voted into this position by a lot of people, and I still have a lot of people supporting.
How many people? Only 288 ballots were passed last voting election.
It
wasn't a lot.
This was a couple election cycles ago. I understand that you in this room are very angry at me, but I also know that there are members who are not angry at me, and I need to really think about this. So I would respectfully ask to not be forced to make this decision tonight and have a moment to think about it.
Do what's right. Right.
Last question, Garrett. Before I ask you the question, there's a phrase that has been coming up in my head for the last month, right? When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Garrett, will you step down from the board effective tonight?
The phrase that keeps coming up in my head this evening is he flew too close to the sun. Does that make sense?
I think I understand what you're saying. I'll just repeat my question. Will you step down tonight?
So I hear what everybody in this room is saying. I do. And I understand what everybody in this room is saying. And I don't know if there is a way forward for me to have any trust with decisions that are made at this club. I would ask for a couple things. You guys don't have to give them to me, but I will ask for them. And it's the same thing I asked for in the coaches meeting. I would ask, I will answer your question, and I think it'll be an answer that you enjoy hearing. But I will ask for just a modicum of grace, because I can say with all integrity that all I have done in the 60 days that I've been on the board is to try and do my best to make decisions that are the right decision for this soccer club. Not for me individually, not for my bank account when it comes to the house, for the soccer club. And that is all I've tried to do. And Jeff, I believe that is all you have tried to do for your decade that you were on the board before last month. And I believe it. The problem is, I don't see how I can sit here and regain the trust of this room, but really our club in general, moving forward. I just don't see it. I told someone earlier, I'm nothing if not pragmatic, and I can read the tea leaves and I can see the writing on the wall. And the other thing that I would ask is that whoever ends up replacing any of us on the board, but myself in particular, is someone that cares and does their best to make the right decision for the soccer club. Can you guys agree to that? When I said I was going to ask you a couple things, I said you don't have to give it to me, but I'm going to ask anyways.
Okay.
It sounds like that's a yes.
That is a yes. I can hold my head high and walk out of this room
Thank you.
Crap, I have to follow that up. My name is Ryan May. My daughter's been going here since she's 7, and I came here tonight with an open mind because I've seen some stuff online. I've heard things from parents, and having listened to what everybody says, I realize my opinion that I formed tonight is I trust you guys less than I trust a fart during stomach flu season. So I just want to say that.
That's enough, Ryan. That's enough, Ryan.
Okay.
Let's be respectful.
I am being respectful.
People have actually been pretty respectful tonight. That's just don't come to the mic and just insult us. Who's next?
Okay. I'm just saying how I feel, and I think these people here feel insulted, so thank you.
Good evening. So, I've been in corporate world 25 years. Meetings like this never have actions coming out of it. It's been a lot of you saying you're going to align our synergies, to streamline efficiencies, to make performance great, to help us reach new goals. And every time someone asks, do you have a 30, 60, 90-day plan? No. Garrett said we've been in office 60 days, so you still have no plan. We have no outlook. There's no confidence. Somebody said, stop talking on social media, you're ruining our reputation. We don't have meetings from last minute. We're not going to get meetings from tonight, so I tried to make bullet points. President Podesta, you can say if these are inaccurate, and I'll address you each accordingly. So Garrett just verbally stated intentions to resign from the board tonight. Is that correct, Garrett?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Let's see, all board members acknowledge no plan for DOC replacement after 90 days of terminating DOC. Is that accurate, President Podesta?
No
plans, meaning we haven't discussed.
You guys stated earlier that you would probably form a board to start interviewing candidates or come up with a plan to replace the DOC? So there's no active plan to replace the DOC?
Correct, and it's 30 days.
Since his termination, yeah?
But there is yes, we will be discussing an active plan to put a committee together.
So there's currently
to
no active
replace it.
plan after 30 days of terminating a key position in a soccer club? Yes or no, correct or false?
Correct.
Thank you. All right. All three board members verbally acknowledged sale approval by board members' property and had signed approval for $500,000 on December 16th. Is that correct? You guys all signed an agreement for the purchase of that through the club?
It was a longer agreement than that. The contingencies involved.
I'm not worried about the $95,000 that it cost for the realtor fees and the appraisals on a $405,000 house.
The contingencies involved things way before that.
So you verbally acknowledged an agreement to purchase for $500,000 on December 16th? Or you physically signed the dotted line?
An initial agreement?
Verbally or signed?
I did not sign it.
There's no documentation, it was a verbal or physical
He
agreement?
can't sign it, it's the other two.
So there was an agreement. Can you pass the mic to Garrett? I'm sorry, I can't see her. Sorry, there's people behind me.
An initial purchase agreement was signed, yes.
Okay, for the $500,000?
That was the price listed on the purchase agreement.
For the house that was purchased for $405,000. With the $95,000 covering appraisals and realtor fees, correct? For your statement earlier?
But that's correct. You're not.
Thank you.
I don't know.
And then Evan verbally acknowledged violating SOP with bathroom coding process, and we are currently unable to move forward with the $7,000 on the Duke agreement, but you said you're gonna comply and pursue 2 additional quotes on the bathroom remodeling?
No, Evan didn't do anything that you just stated. Evan got one proposal for design and was submitting it before the board to see if we would move forward with that proposal. There's been $0 spent on this. This proposal was $6,000.
So, additional member brought up that
we have
that
not approved
violates the
this
SOP
yet.
and you need 2 additional quotes for that? Are you gonna
Sounds like
pursue
I
that?
need 2 more.
So you acknowledge you violated it and you
No,
need to
there
pursue
was-
2 more quotes? Because you're trying to move forward on that. Was it motion tonight?
No, I was asking if, I was presenting this as almost, this was an accomplishment.
Just an idea, not to, it was
No,
just
no,
a
no, it was-
brainstorm tonight session
No,
or
this is-
what?
This is hilarious because for the past 10 years, we have been talking about a bathroom remodel. So I was excited tonight because there's so many heads.
So was
in
there
the room.
action on that quote tonight or no? It was just a brainstorm?
No, it was just to say.
President Podesta, was it a brainstorm or a motion to move for action?
Ryan, this was.
I'm asking President Podesta if there's a motion for that
This was a bathroom
tonight?
remodel update. This is the update.
Was
This
there
is
a
how-
motion,
this is how
President
far we are.
Podesta?
There was no motion. This is just an update on where we're at.
There was no motion, and before the meeting, when he actually showed that to me, I said, we will discuss it tonight, but we will not make any motions because it's gonna be more discussion required for that. So,
To
no, there
comply
was
with
no
the SOP, there'll
motion.
be additional actions, correct? If we move
Yes,
forward with that?
but
Okay.
this was presented, there were no motions, period.
All right.
I have a
Yep.
very quick housekeeping update. The if you get texts from your friends, the online feed has been cut because we've already removed the access that I have to the emails and stuff like that. So if you get texts from friends saying, "What happened to the feed?" That's why. Okay.
All right, next is for you, Garrett, again. So Garrett acknowledges using intimidation on another board member candidate on the sidelines and has apologized tonight. Is that accurate?
I would say that I apologize. Yes.
Do you agree to using intimidation on that board member as she stated up here on the microphone tonight?
I don't know, Risa. Would you call that? Was I intimidating when I was talking to you? Was I really? I mean, I know I was trying to.
Reese, would you like to come up to
convince you.
discuss?
I don't know if it was very intimidating.
He's resigning, okay.
I know. What?
So, all right, so you acknowledge you apologize for intimidating.
I would acknowledge that she felt intimidated. Yes.
All right, coaches stated they verbally feel not supported and not secure in their current positions. I believe it was Garrett stated there is no active litigation. Somebody brought that up on the meeting. Is that correct, Garrett? No current active litigation?
That is correct.
And then lastly, Evan asked attendees if they wanted board member to change the bylaws and everyone agreed no. Correct? Correct? All right, thank you.
Back up here again. Just real quick, I think what I heard was that a coaching representative cannot have a child that plays here. Is that correct?
That's not correct.
Okay. What's that? Oh, they don't have to. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then just, Evan, you had mentioned talk about Matt breaching his contract, right? Not arguing it, not asking for details. I negotiate hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts every day. I also negotiate breaches in contracts. I also know that there's material breaches in contracts, and those material breaches still have time to be remedied if the two parties agree. So again, you didn't allow Matt the time to remedy any breach he may or may not have had, but you had the option to do so. In terms of the Alliance teams not being interrupted, the 08 boys, I know the 2011 boys, my son, he plays on that team. He has not been able to practice. That field has been locked. 09s. They have not been able to practice in preparation for nationals. So they have 100% been interrupted just because of the poor operations that have been happening. And he's been upset every time soccer practice gets canceled. So again, no response, no question, just more of a statement. I know, Adam, you work hard on getting field availability, so thank you for that. Yeah. They are practicing Saturday and Sunday, by the way, so thank you. Garrett, you had resigned. The concern I think that everybody has in this room is the fact that you guys would use the remaining positions to vote in somebody that you want in this position. How do you plan on filling Garrett's vacant position?
Well, I mean, it just happened. So I think
We
I
have
would
two options. You can appoint or you can have a vote, right?
Okay, well, I still have to decide whether or not I'm going to resign, so I don't even know if I'll be a part of that.
I have some ideas. I have some ideas.
Okay, what
Some
are
have
they?
been in this room tonight, some have spoken in this room tonight. That's all you get.
So you won't allow the members to vote in a new board member?
Oh, is that something we can do? We can have I didn't know we could.
Yes,
have an election.
absolutely.
I thought we had to appoint or just us vote.
Again, not
I thought
knowing
you
the
meant
bylaws.
Just us vote or a membership vote. Is that how that works? A membership vote? I would be completely open to a membership vote. I would prefer a membership vote.
So open to it, or are we doing it?
My vote for that would be, let's have a membership vote. I'm one vote of 6. So.
Okay, can we vote right here now?
I don't think so.
We're not gonna vote here now? President, are we gonna vote on that?
I think honestly, to be fair to the people up here and to the people in this room, but not just fair to those people, but to the people of the entire club, I don't think it would be right to hold that type of a vote. And this is coming from someone who's resigned, so I don't think it would be right or fair to hold that type of a vote without announcing it to the entire club. So the
Oh, no, sorry,
the
that's
entire club
to the whole club. I wasn't talking about voting here. Also, just a follow-up, Garrett, I think that resignations need to be handed in written as well, so I just want to make sure you be doing that.
They do. I will do that. I'm not.
Yeah, thanks.
Just a real quick housekeeping, we do have 5 minutes left until 9 o'clock.
Real quick. First of all, there's so many people
I'm
up
sorry,
here that
I'm
I
sorry.
love.
You have spoken already. We have an actual coach, Nick. Are you sure? Okay, go ahead. I was just gonna have you.
There's so many
That's
people
okay.
up here that I do love. Jen, our friends, our girls are best friends practically, and I think the world of her. I've had some interaction with Angie, nothing bad. And Trotter, love you to death, man. So there are good up here. However, we keep saying it's about the kids, but there's been so many things that have happened that make so many people question the integrity of it. And I think it's only appropriate, thank you Garrett for stepping down, I think that is right for the kids. But I also feel like Evan, you need to be stepping down also. You have, you've actually violated one of the SOP 4s, which is the conflict of interest policy. Are you familiar with it? Okay, leveraging
Sure.
SCSA for self-benefit. SCSA personnel may not use their position or relationship with the club to promote their own interests or those of family and close acquaintances. This applies to financial benefits. Now, I know you guys said that the house thing didn't go through and all that,
Yeah,
but it still shows
I've gotten
intent.
no benefit from this, trust me.
But
This has been no
you
personal
were
benefit.
helping your brother and his family, and per the contract, you voted yes, so you helped him. You violated this. SOP, number 4. So how can we trust you?
I don't know, I guess you'll just have to try. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry about that.
Hey, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm Coach Nick. I coach the United Academy team. I coach with most of the coaches over here. We try our best to put forth at least the top 2 options on our attitude board here. Keep it nothing but positive. It's very difficult, but we do it. And to prove that we are givers and not takers. I don't have any specific questions for you. I just want to say, in the 60 days that you've been here, how much have you taken versus how much have you given this club? And I just want you guys to sit with that and we'll pass.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know. Oh, sorry, Trotter. I really didn't want to be up here, but I was asked to come up and tell why I resigned. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of you have feelings for this. Oh, sorry. If you don't know, I'm Laura. I coach the top soccer program. I sent an email to the board telling them that for how they treated people at the beginning of their term, within a month of them being on the board, how they treated people, I could not stand behind them and work for them. Side note, I didn't get any response. But there is one thing. I would like to thank all of you parents for allowing your kids to help with top soccer. That is my favorite thing to do. And I really want to be with them, but I can't with them.
Hi, my name is Christina Gallagher. I'm a parent from Travel, Top Soccer, and Rep. Coach Laura has been amazing. She has made Blake, who's my Down syndrome son, who's 18, love playing soccer. Every Saturday, he wants to be at Top Soccer. He doesn't want to miss it. And we were here years ago when Top Soccer was ran by a different person. And we quit because it was unorganized. And we came back because of Coach Laura. And if Coach Laura is not going to be running this Top Soccer program, neither will Blake. And there are a lot of Top Soccer parents that are in the same boat. So just think of that, please. And you've got all these kids in here that have volunteered their Saturday mornings when they don't have games. Whenever Coach Laura asks for volunteers, all these kiddos are more than willing to get up early in the morning and give up an hour and a half to be buddies. Sometimes there's more buddies than players, but you know what? They love them. They love that. So, thank you.
Thank you. It is 9:01, so it is a time for the official adjournment of the meeting. Thank you guys again.
I'm sorry, I think someone left something open. Garrett, first of all, on behalf of the group, we really appreciate you listening and reading the tea leaves. Angie and Evan and Jen, when do we expect to hear back on your decision? Because you guys are swift decision makers, so we'd expect same swift action.
Can I just say that I have a feeling in my gut of what I think the decision should be, but for me personally, when I'm making decisions like that, I just need a little bit of time, and that's all I'm asking for. So I would say that I will have a decision very quickly.
I think that's wise. As far as tonight's concerned, I can think of words from a famous movie. I'm not leaving.
I don't know if you'd like me. I was appointed to this by I don't know how to respond to that. I mean, I'll listen to feedback.